morning, Lords. What's going on? Mic check, mic check. What's going on, people? Dreadpool, what's up? Jay Bailey, what's up? Joe Bailey, excuse me, what's up? Def Sing in the building. Yo, Mixer. Oh, we working today, Mixer. My man. Thank you, brother. Flint Dog, thank you, bro. We've been having a lot of issues restreaming the Mixer, so good to see my Mixer Lords in the building. Brooklyn in the house, 6 Layer, what's up? Just waiting for the Lords. It looks like everybody had a rough night, you know what I'm saying, last night. Thanks, Vogel. Appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? Waiting for the Lords to come in, and you know I will mute King when he rolls in with his theme songs that'll get us demonetized. Stinger, my OG NLG brother. What's going on, man? Yeah, we talking to death to Sega today. I don't know where Addict is, so I don't. That's one. Saw we waiting. I might do the show by myself today. That's the way it's looking. We may have some special guests pull up. Oh, Frodo, man, good to see you, brother. Good to see you as always. Hold on, Addict has arrived. I was worried, but Addict has arrived. Addict, speak to the people, man. You live?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay. Mostly Martina said you was getting your overalls together. Just wanted to make sure.
Nah, that's stuff I had to do.
No doubt, no doubt. Graphic God, what's going on, bro? Yo, we're gonna deliver those knees 1 week. And shout out to Jason Jones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we waiting. No video just yet. No video just like Delilah. We waiting. We got things going. You know what I'm saying? But we should wait for the rest of the Lords. We will mute, come back. We got a really big show planned, and hopefully things go down. So I will talk to you guys in a bit. right, mic check again. The Lords are in the building. Soft King Addict, speak to the people. Let them know
I'm
people.
here.
Hello.
King, speak to the people.
Yo. What's good?
Let me know, people. Chat. Let me know if y'all can hear them. Let me know. Like, give me some feedback from the rest of the realm. Make sure y'all can hear them. All right. See thumbs up for our QW Vampire. Vogels, what's up? Forte on stream or Twitch, what's up? Levels is good. Everybody heard everybody else. All right, sounds good on Mixer. Dizzy, thank you, brother. Mixer, thank you for working, Mixer. Pat, you know what I'm saying? Okay, no doubt. All right, so what we're doing, y'all, we just chilling out. We're probably gonna hold on to starting for maybe 5-10 more minutes as we wait for us a potential special guest. So we shall see. See y'all in a bit.
Let me know.
Y'all muted. Yo, what's going on? We about to start. Michael, aka BedStar5, with $2 super chat. What's cracking, Lords? What's going on? Army veteran, thank you, brother. $5 super chat. What's up, Lords? What kind of TVs do you game on? Looking to upgrade? You speak to King. He's the Lord of TCLs. He'll get you in the right direction.
The Lord of TCL.
How you gonna do me like that?
That's how he get there. That's premium experience. That's what he does. He's not about the QLED. He's not about the QLED. He's not that brother.
Look at CatDaddyFatStacks acting like he.
And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 161. And Smitty Smith is super chatting. Shout out to Smitty Smith. Wow, the Lord of TCLs. You can't slander Lord King like that. I know. I didn't give him a chance to respond. I know. It was a low blow. It was a low blow. I know.
You know my TV games ain't like that, baby. They would make TCLs in 88 inches. They don't do that.
Oh, man. Salute to Crystal from Twitch. Good to see the Mix of Lords. I know we got things going. But anyway, welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 161. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about a special guest. And we've got PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X generations, Sega's latest announcements, PlayStation 5 chipset production, and the latest in Destiny 2 to discuss. So we gonna get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose passion for pushing the boundaries of tech from the impossible to actual reality is truly inspiring to watch. Not only is this Lord a true protector of the realm as a U.S. Marine, but his insightful technical acumen is an absolute boon to any organization he is a part of. Introducing the principal program manager of Microsoft's mixed reality team and the former director and lead of Project xCloud and Xbox Backward Compatibility, the Great Wall himself, who proudly stands by Reinhardt and Overwatch as the perfect 10 multiplayer-only game of the year. My man, live from Washington by way of Chi-Town and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Bill Stillwell. How are we doing, sir?
Hey guys, how you doing? Good to be here again.
Yes.
You know what? You waited like what, 800 years between the first two episodes, and now it's been a few months. Awesome.
It's been so long, Bill.
It has.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, first of all, before we get into anything, I'm feeling Last Dance vibes, sir. So you must give us a little brief tour right now. I'm feeling Blackhawks. I'm feeling. Give us what's going on. Is that Bulls 97 through 99 run in the back I see?
So I actually have the kids in our house. We had a room that the kids used as their playroom when they were younger, and so now I'm actually converting it back into a room for I'll say older kids to play in. So it's got the foosball table, the bubble hockey table, the air hockey table, but most importantly, I've started putting up my wall finally. And so I've actually got we got
the Ditka. Okay.
I got Ditka signed, by the way, including my Walter Payton and my Ditka Funko Pops, then the Bulls banners, some more
sweetness
of the pencil drawings, Jordan and Peyton, two of the best of all time.
Of course.
And then you sort of move into obviously my passion, hockey. And if I actually go around the corner, you can see there's the wall to my son. So
that's what's up. I see Arcade Unit in the back. I'm nosy. I see Arcade Unit. Shout out to Jeremy Ronick. No, what's up with Belfort? No Belfort. What's going on?
Not yet. That's on the list. That's on the list. It'll happen. We also have a couple of those arcade one-up machines. So I've got the Marvel wall where I've got the Marvel superheroes, which has the X-Men, the Marvel game, and the Punisher game. That's the one I sent to King after he showed me up. And then I have the Star Wars section too with that actual Vector arcade one-up Star Wars game. So it's a nice place to hang out and just have fun.
Absolutely, man. Awesome display. Loving the shrine, the Hall of Fame shrine, the Last Dance shrine. Feeling all that. So real quick, man, how you been just transitioning? I know you've on the mixed reality team. I missed the old name. I know. Cognition sounded really sweet, but I gotta move on. But like, how's the whole transition going for you? And then especially working under these conditions, under the pandemic.
Yeah. So I started that role, and then the next day Microsoft shut down, and I've been working from home. It's been a really interesting experience. I'm a person who likes to get out, talk with people, meet with developers, meet with customers. And so working from home and not being able to travel, not being able to work with people has been tough. But the team's great. We've got a lot of stuff done. We got a lot of progress. I'm really excited about our future. And it's nice to have I always used Xbox as a job as an excuse to have the console be something I got to go play on the console.
I got to go to work.
And now I've been able to double down on mixed reality stuff as well. So I've been really exploring a lot more content there and getting the family involved in that as too. So
that's pretty awesome, man. And lastly, we know Reinhardt is on full display and that Perfect 10 game that I know you vehemently feel about, and I disagree, but we're not gonna get into that. This is about you. What have you been playing? A lot of Overwatch, or what have you been playing just recently?
Actually, so a couple of things. I stopped playing Destiny. I started doing my Destiny chores until the event, and then I actually played a little bit last night and got back into it again. I have been playing Overwatch, but I've actually been playing some Street Fighter 4, and then there's a game experience for those of you who have virtual reality headsets that I highly recommend. It's called Pixel Rip 1995,
tell me about that.
It's a game within a game, so you play in a VR world where you're in the 90s and you're buying your game console as a kid.
Stop.
And then you actually go through a progression of you play a Street Fighter type game, you play a Zelda type game, you play a Streets of Rage type game, and as you're playing it, the characters in the game are coming out into the real world and influencing the real world to save their universe. It's a fantastic game, and it has. This will be a spoiler, so everybody should be
spoiler alert.
There's an achievement in it that I got by mistake, but I thought was amazing because the main character you play as is this little boy, and then you play as sort of a Metroid, Samus kind of woman character. And I'm in. There's moments where you're in 2D, where you're in VR, and you can actually look down and see yourself in 2D as a sprite. And in one of those, I see these hands on my shoulders, and I'm like, "What's that?" So I turn, I look behind me, and the big hero character, he's rubbing my shoulders, and I'm like, "Get out of here!" So I just
stranger danger.
I smacked him, and then I got an achievement pop that was about not putting up with that crap. So
yo, that's great.
You are stranger danger.
That sounds. What is the name of this game again?
It's called Pixel Rip 1995.
Wow, Pixel Rip 1995. I gotta get, and again, available on like all VR.
It's on multiple platforms. Yeah, it's on Windows mixed reality headsets through Steam Store. It's on Oculus Quest as well. So it's on a whole bunch of headsets.
That's awesome, man. Good catching up with you. So we got a lot of show, maybe some more special things happening. So stay tuned. But of course, you already know we have the 4 horsemen of gaming. Those original lords of the realm here at the round table. My co-host with the co-most. My brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, Lord of Reviews, and the how of the young wolf. my man, Lord Addict. How we doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Kind of tired this morning, man. I can't even front, man. But we'll get through with it, man. We'll get through with it.
No doubt. Glad you can make it, sir. No long, rough night at the office, but we will get it going, get it popping. So we're gonna move it going on up with the most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patron of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Feeling good, feeling good. Last night gave myself the quarantine barbershop.
Okay.
Quarantine smooth, brother.
Quarantine cuts.
Smooth.
99,
I love it.
99% fades.
There you go. Standing in the buff in the shower, just shaving my head. You know.
Salute. We need Denzel at peak form.
I had to do it because my barber said that he was doing just one-on-one haircuts with like the gate down. And so I had mentioned to my wife, hey, I'm gonna go get a haircut. And the reaction I got,
she was like, that's not happening.
Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You need to cancel that for another couple of months. So, you know, I had to do what I had to do. But doing good.
No doubt. We will move on because we got, like I said, a lot of show going on. So, of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, a.k.a. the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King. How are we doing, sir?
We're doing fantastic. Let's get to this. Turn the beat around. Let me see that scar now.
What's going on?
That statue is incredible. Just got to address something real quick.
Yes,
a lot of you dudes is on my timeline going at one individual. If you call that individual brother, and we talking about my man So Shady. So Shady's never have done anything to me. He treats me as a brother, and we actually talking to DMs very often. Now, I just want to say this: if you block them, mute them without talking to them and trying to figure out what was going on, because I never saw the tweet. The tweet was off my timeline. Don't understand it. Don't hear it. Don't know it. But again, me and him spoke in the background, and if you have a problem with an individual, you talk to them individually. If you call those people friends, you don't automatically block them and don't give them a chance to even explain themselves or even apologize. So a lot of times we're right now at a point of heightened agitation, frustration, and irritation. And sometimes you really have to take a step back and show heart. You know, sometimes people need a little bit of education with things without us lashing at them. So I just want to tell you guys, listen, take a little bit more time to just take a time out, listen to someone and try to hear their side of it. And if you feel that they are wrong, give them your side of it and try to educate them on things that are going on in the world right now. Because not everybody has just same level of information or education. And what you have to do is teach one. We have to be each one teach one. We have to get back to that.
No doubt. Real quick, I gotta get Lynchpin in £5 super chat. Sov's haircut is coming in hot. Looking smooth. He wanted to give it up to you on that. You already know. So we will move on because again, a lot of show in it. Like King said, it's a King's point. I just want to reiterate. Everybody, no beef. We don't get in the middle. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But we want to promote unity here, and that's what we're about. So, of course, we got the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Real quickly, just been doing Last of Us 2, what else? Oh, Fist of the North, last battle of I've been playing the reimagined last battle. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Arzak, my man. That's what I know him as. The rest of the world knows him as Kenshiro, but on Genesis, that was Arzak. So salute to that. I've been rocking that. And yo, XCOM 2 for the Switch coming in hot, man. I actually was enjoying it.
You talking about Switch stuff right now? I thought you would be better than me. I think you need to walk away from that right now. Don't even mention no Switch stuff today for the slander that you will receive from this king over there. I think you need to just walk that back a little bit. Keep talking about PlayStation.
Outer Worlds Vaseline edition.
Switch gang, it's been a rough week. We know it's been a rough week. Outer Worlds was not coming in hot, but I wanted to give the 2K gentlemen.
Dude, Outer Worlds wasn't even coming in cold.
Yo, that was DOA.
Switch is coming in really hot. Really hot.
Well, we like to give our roses to the ports that do well. And 2K did quite well for me. So that's been pretty much better. But yeah, that's been pretty much it for me. We got a lot of things going on today. So at first, we got a special thing we want to do, man. So actually, I want you, the realm, to buckle up and listen to something from the king.
Hi, I'm Lord King David of Iron Lords Podcast, and we're bringing to you an exciting new giveaway. This giveaway is like none other. We'll be giving away an Xbox Series X. That's right, you heard me right. The brand new console launching from Microsoft this year. Well, this is how you're able to be part of that giveaway. There's 2 ways to get your name thrown in the hat for the raffle. 1, become a member of the realm. That's hit that join button, hit that join button. You hit that join button down at the bottom and you can become a member. And also, another way is by becoming a Patreon member, so you can be part of the realm as well. Now, this is brought to you by CatDaddyFatStacks, a member and Lord of the Realm, a very generous person that's in our community. And this community is beautiful. So remember, you can have 1 entry by hitting that join button and becoming a member of the realm. And also, you can have another entry by being a Patreon. Now, you said, King, what if I'm a member of both? Well, your name gets thrown in the hat 2 times. So please, like, follow, and subscribe. Join, or become a Patreon member, or become both. And your name is in the hat to get that Xbox Series X. That's the Who Did That For You sweepstakes. This is wonderful. This is something that I'm sure that you will enjoy. Oh man, have a great day.
Yeah.
Dominus Maximus Spencer did that for you.
Did that for you. Sweepstakes has arrived, man. Salute the Lord King for putting that together, man. Something special for the realm. Put your hands together, man. I wanted to do that. Who did that for you? You already saw. And again, salute our brother, CatDaddyFatStacks. Sponsored by him. He spoke to the realm. He said, look, man, love what we're doing, and he wanted it to be, normally we'd do our typical giveaways through outside, sources, but in this case, he wanted it to be for our most loyal members. So like King said, to reiterate, if you are a member of the Patreon, or if you're a member of the YouTube, to hit that join button, as King says all the time, you will get actually a second entry. So salute the King putting it together. Salute to Cat Daddy. Salute to the realm, man. This is for y'all. We want to give back to the community, and I want to pass it over to the Iron Bank. It's his time to talk about what else we've been doing. What's going on, man?
All right. So before we do that, we have 2 brand new members of the realm. So we're not playing. We're not playing. Xbox, get me. So shout out and put them crests up in the chat for Heated Heavy 505, Lord Bronze, welcome to the realm, sir, and Emmanuel A. Yeah. Welcome to the realm. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, wow.
We have Lord. First of all, let's get this super chat. We have the $2 super chat from Lord Emmanuel A himself. Man, I hope y'all not trolling. Nah, man. We don't do that. Yeah. We don't do that.
We are not trolling. Series
and
X.
Shout out to Lord Mariano Bomba. Double dipping patron, and he's not playing.
He's not playing. He wants Series X.
He wants that. Guys, thank you so much.
Oh my God.
We got Lord Ricardo Willis. Welcome to the realm.
Thank you.
Wow. People want that Series X.
Be sure everyone put those logos up,
we got Xbox Pope here. Look, Pope is in here. Look, y'all, we can't promise that Pope is going to design your Xbox Series X. He's on another level, right? We're not promising that. But we see you in here, Pope. We want that gold one. I want the gold one from the gold ILP, Pope. Oh my God. Like, speak to us offline.
What's funny is when I saw that, I was okay. That seems a little too much for my wallet, but that controller.
Listen, I don't really
welcome your brothers to the realm with the stickers and put them shields up for your brothers that just joined the realm.
Yeah, put them up for joining up.
Fantastic.
Continue, so.
So, as I said a couple of weeks back, right, we were soon coming upon the point where we're going to have a fantastic problem to have, which is that you're not going to be hearing my sexy, luscious voice all that often because we have too many members for me to really just list off every time we do Patreon and we do YouTube. So again, this is a fantastic problem to have. Thank you guys. Yes. So with that said, and without further ado, King, I'm gonna have to borrow your song for a minute, but Lord Cog, let's go, hit it.
Let's go, boy. Boom, boom, and now we gonna do the Chicago Bulls joint. And now. So hopefully, if it's working correctly, if it's working correctly, look at it.
Let me see the picture.
Stop that.
No, can't let us use that for that. But as you
YouTube subscribe.
No, you gotta get your own song.
You gotta get our own.
Your own song. That's
right, so we'll do the Chicago. And now, the starting lineup for the YouTube ILP subscribers and Patreon subscribers.
Guys, thank you so much. Like I said, this is a fantastic problem to have. And it's because of you guys, like the support that we've been getting week in and week out, constantly getting new members to the Patreon, new members to the YouTube channel. It makes us very proud every single week to know that we're bringing you guys content that makes you laugh, you know, and keeps your mind occupied for a couple hours every Sunday. So that's a fantastic thing.
Brother,
yes, we do.
Yes,
I don't see the dented in, man.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either, but
I'm not seeing it.
I don't know what's going on. I did what I was supposed to do, but
we got okay. So let me explain because I know
are we missing something?
Yeah. Okay,
something I was supposed to have.
We worked on something very incredible for when new members join the realm, and it's like trumpets and little stars and stripes and it's like and you show up and we really wanted the fanfare for you guys. But what I want y'all to do every time new members join in, please, brothers, show them the stickers that they have afforded to them and put those crests up and shield and show them shields for your brothers.
And with that said, we have another new member to the realm, Lord Hassan Abu Zayed. Thank you for joining the realm.
Hold on. Delilah says her ears, so I'm hoping maybe it is working.
It is?
Delilah, if you're saying your ears are hurting, because I made sure I wanted it to be loud. So let me know if y'all did see something or trumpets did blare, because that's what's supposed to happen. We experienced some technical difficulties with that.
We have yet another member to the round.
The finest.
The finest joining the round. The finest. Okay. Thank you so much, brother.
Okay.
All right. So with that said, and now you're not going to hear my voice less, right? But we're still going to do these giveaways, right? So we're still going to do giveaways the way we usually do it. So let's get into this $10 gift card giveaway. And the winner of the $10 gift card giveaway is Lord Restored Hades.
Restored Hades. Yo, Delilah said it ain't working. It's our terrible singing is what she said by it.
Yeah, I was a couple octaves too high.
We'll get it straight now, guys. We'll get it straight. We're working with Graphic God for weeks trying to get this thing in for whatever reason. We'll get it though. Continue, son.
All right.
What else we got?
The winner of our $20 gift card giveaway is Lord Mariano Pompa.
Salute.
What happens? Just join the realm. This is what happens.
Salute.
All right, now get into our Teespring giveaway. The winner of our Teespring giveaway is
who gets the trip?
Lord Gamers Play.
Gamers Play. That's new. That's a new game, right?
That's new to the realm.
That's right. We're not rigging it anymore.
We're not rigging at all. They did not have the opportunity to drop the bag off, so that there's no rigging whatsoever. So shout out to everyone, and once again, thank you guys for all the support.
Oh, we got a new.
There we go.
Oh, we gotta get these horns together, man. We'll do it.
If it ain't there, I'm gonna do it for you.
Is that your sound of a horn, King?
Listen, I'm sorry. From my recollection as a child, was it? What was that guy's name? They would tell you have a seat, and he's tired. Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers taught me how horns sound, sir.
No doubt.
So we got two more members to the round, Lord Perfect Shogun. Welcome to tier gold, sir. Thank you so
Wow,
much.
absolutely.
And of course, Lord Vagabundo, 5591. Welcome to Lord Bronze, sir. And thank you.
Definitely. And put those shields down there, man. Welcome the new lords to the realm, man. Put those shields down.
This is fantastic.
All right. So
the
new guys in the realm, right? When you go to the toolbar, look down there. You're going to see the emojis that are afforded to you now that you have become a member of the realm, and you click it, and it's going to say, Iron Lords podcast emojis, and you have those special emojis like who did that for you? Throw them in the bushes.
We might have a new one now, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, we don't be getting that switch coming in hot, stuff like that. And on God now, so
no doubt. So what we got, Saul?
Yes.
So like the Iron Bank is feeling very generous this month, man. So next off we have, in 2 weeks' time, we're gonna have the sequel to one of the most amazing games of the past generation coming out. I cannot wait. And as the Iron Lords do,
being extra, one of the greatest games of all time. That nonsense about. I want to hear. This is my opinion, and my opinion only before you say stuff.
Say that. The internet will agree with me. Thank you very much.
Share by most.
So, as we usually do, we're gonna have a Last of Us Part 2 Gleam IO giveaway. And that actually, Twitter sort of got ahead of itself a little bit yesterday and put it out there.
But it was snitching about what was going to be given away, but it's okay.
So we have that giveaway going on. It will end right before the launch of the game. As I was telling the Lords off mic beforehand, it's a little crazy when it comes to PlayStation codes.
Yes.
So oftentimes what will happen is that I'll have to give somebody like PSN credit to purchase the game and things like that. So just so you know, it's difficult to get an actual code since I can't gift it to you either from the Iron Bank. So it probably won't get the actual code for the game, but you're going to get what you need to get the game.
Go get that bread, though.
You're going to get that guap.
Exactly. No doubt.
Now, if you choose not to buy the game, that's on you. That's going to happen on you.
No doubt. So that's all.
We got one more thing. Big shout out to the guys, the developers at Camel 101 Studios. Yes. They were gracious enough to give us a code for their latest game. They gave us the code through lordsofgaming.net. Our brothers over there, making sure that they listen, man, these guys are moving in these streets. These guys are getting these codes for these games. These reviews are coming out. And the guys from Camel 101 were gracious enough to give us a PS4 code for their latest game that was released actually last week. So we're a little late with it, so we apologize for that. But it's called Those Who Remain, and it is a psychological horror game set in the town of Dormant, where basically you have to try to survive the night and keep the darkness at bay. I personally love games like this where you're trying to keep the darkness at bay and stay in the light. Like anybody who's ever played like Alan Wake or anything like that. This is actually I believe a first-person sort of experience. Fantastic game. Thank you so much for this code. So absolutely, guys,
salute the Lord Gene on this too as well.
Lord Gene for passing that along. And once again, check out Camel 101 and check out Those Who Remain. So we have one code for the PlayStation 4, and the way we're going to give it away is this, right? You guys are going to laugh, right? So the first person who can write in the chat the following answer will get the code, right? So the question is,
what's the question?
The first person to name the 4 primary colors of the Sega Game Gear Mini that was just announced this month, this week actually. So the first person to put that in the chat wins the code.
Man, you know how many people's going to Google right now? It's unreal.
Yeah, listen, give a shout out to Justin. What's his last name?
Not seeing who you
Mahoney.
He joined the realm.
Oh wow, thank you. We didn't see that. Yeah, yes, correct. Yeah, put the crest up. Yes, Justin Maroney.
Shout out to Justin Maroney.
Shout out to Justin Maroney.
Thank you so much.
So we'll say gray, and gray.
All right, so we got perfect. Wait, who went first? Wait, hold on.
Who's first?
Drunken Ninja said red, blue, black, and yellow. So I don't think that's it. Smitty Smith.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Then Drunken Ninja got
who's
it.
the first though? Who was the first?
Make sure he was the first.
Yeah, he was the first. He was the first one to say anything.
All right, you know what to do.
So Lord Drunken Ninja, just get at me in my DMs, LordSovILP.
Slide in his DM.
Get at me, and I will give you that code. Once again, thank you to Camel 101 for this code. And if you guys are not one, obviously check out this game. Those Who Remain, I believe it's out now on PS4 and Steam. Check it out.
No doubt, Chuck, and then say, "Ha!" He did the Fresh Montana. Anyway, so let's get on, man. With a lot of show. Again, appreciate the giveaways. Appreciate giving back to the community. Again, for you guys sticking with us. But we got a poll question. Last week, poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question with the latest info. What does Cat Daddy talk about? You just skipped me. I don't know what you're talking about.
What did he? Was he first?
Was he first? Well, we're gonna see. Check that out. We can't upset Cat Daddy. Just make sure that's
definitely
right.
Not Cat Daddy.
Oh, okay,
so
make sure. Game of my choice. Salute. You already know. $2 super chat. Thanks for all you do, gamers. Lord, salute. Yeah, salute to you guys too as well. You guys make us do this.
I'm running it back. You run it back as well.
Yeah, you guys figured it out behind the scenes.
It looks like Cat Daddy said thumbs ready. Leonidas had an emoji. Drunken Ninja said red, blue, black, and yellow. Slow Mo said gray, 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 and gray. Smitty Smith said red, black, yellow, blue, and then it looks like. Yeah, it looks a couple more. And
So
then Cat Daddy said red, blue, yellow, and black. So it looks like he was just a little bit off, Cat Daddy.
Okay, he could have been talking about something else.
It was a perfect show in that.
Oh, okay. All right. He said it didn't post. He'll DM. Okay, cool. No worries, Cat. No worries. We got you, brother. And of course, again, so last week poll results are in. The people have spoken to the question with the latest info regarding PlayStation believing in the idea of console generations. Do you agree with the sentiment that PlayStation 5 games should not be playable on the PS4 as opposed to the Series X, going with a more PC-like approach? The winner of our three-way ILP and highly contested at 48% of the vote was yes. Sony focusing on next gen only is the correct approach for game design group. Coming in at a razor close 47%.
Look at these words he's using. Razor close.
I've never seen a poll this close with this amount of votes. It was insane. So 47% is no. Cross-gen titles does not limit devs tapping into more power group. And in last place at only 3% of the vote was I don't care unless these consoles are hitting 60 frames per second group. So shout out to all the lords who participated. New poll will be coming at the end of the show. So look, man, all this talk, all this generation talk, you've seen the poll. Clearly a very polarizing topic and one of our closest poll ever. So we got to go to the time machine, man. We got some special guests in the building. And I guess it all started, Lord Bill. I put a tweet out and, you know, pretty much I was asked, you know, what approach do I feel is the better approach, so to speak. And I want to shout out my boy Free J Dubs. He's the one that brought it to my attention. So I just said, look, you know, I'm kind of torn. You know, I understand both philosophies. And then the Great Wall jumped in. The Great Wall jumped in. He had a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much, you know, I won't reiterate exactly, you know, because obviously it was a 4-tweet, you know, thing that you went into. I'll give you the opportunity to explain yourself. But you definitely felt strongly about that. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of explain, you know, as far as like maybe either scaling and all this generation talk. Look, I'm not an IT guy. I'm just an IT guy, but I don't pretend to be a game development guy or even work close to those guys. So, Lord Bill, in reference to backward compatibility specifically and tapping into this stuff, the features and the powers of the Series X, you know, I want you to elaborate more kind of on your points that you were saying on Twitter.
Yeah, so thanks for giving me the opportunity to do it. Once I've learned a couple different things here. One, it's unlike some others, I haven't left the company. I've just left the division.
Yes.
So I have to be careful on how I message things because too often people ascribe my comments to having insider knowledge, and in some cases I do. Right. But in other cases, I'm not speaking on behalf of the company. I'm not speaking on behalf of the division. Right. There are others who can just jump right in and tell you what they think, and they're free because someone else is give them a paycheck every 2 weeks. Right. That doesn't say Microsoft on it. So I have to make sure I don't say the wrong things here. But here's you know what I'm talking about. I love but here's what I was trying to get across, and it's hard to do in Twitter, right? Because my primary problem with the conversation wasn't a discussion about game development. It was really about this position that was put forth by another company that said, listen, it's an either or proposition, and we don't want to live in the past. By the way, this echoes the statements they made when we released BackCompat. You know, the whole, why would I want to play an old version of Gran Turismo?
Right.
Like, I do, this is my personal opinion.
Yes.
I do believe that that company has some challenges with BackwardCompat that we don't on the Xbox side of the business. And as a result, they downplay the value of the program, which is fine. I expect them to do that. I expect every company to market their strengths and downplay what the competition capabilities are. But it's not an either or conversation to begin with. And that's the part that I had a problem with in the way it was phrased. And I'm not surprised that the conversation is close. There's a couple different things that go on. Number one, first-party developers will always be able to take advantage of a hardware and produce games better than a third-party developer can, by and large, especially early on in the actual in the actual life cycle, right? Like eventually other companies get close to it, but they have earlier access to the spec, they have early access to the hardware, and they know what they can do that others can't. That said, in some cases, and we ran into this with BackwardCompat titles too, right? Like they try stuff out and go, oh, maybe that's not the way to do things in this new world, and they learn and they evolve themselves. And so it's a good give and take about how games improve, but it's why you usually see those first party exclusives stand out early on in the beginning. And then but the other part of this business is most titles are there to serve multi-platform. So you're not just writing for Sony's platform. You're not just writing for the Xbox platform. You're not just writing for PC. You're writing for all of them. And so you build your game so that it can be on as many platforms as possible and take advantage of the capabilities of that platform. Very specifically, you see this in the PC world all the time, right? I have this graphics card in one case, I have this CPU in another, and the games adapt. Yeah, right, exactly. I was trying not to say my actual spec.
PC shaming, continue.
Right. No, it's okay. Okay, I'll say it. I got 2080 on my laptop, and I got 2070 Super in the desktop, right? So it's okay. It's okay. But in all seriousness, right? Look, the CPU on the console is not great. CPU on the next gen console will be better, but you're still going to write the game for the old console anyway because that install base is so big. And so what I was trying to get at was more of the delineation of there will be games that take advantage of capabilities, but most of the developers in the world today have the ability to build to multi-platform and take advantage of the capabilities when they're there and not put them there when they're not. Now, the specific part that makes this conversation more difficult in this generation is the SSD speeds.
Yes. Oh, you're stealing my point. Okay, continue.
No, okay.
You're on your bag today. Continue.
And this is where, like, I think you were right in the way we talked about it, right? There's definitely the reality of what can you do with that tech that you can't do with another device.
Exactly.
Now, again, let's take third party out of it, because the third party developer is going to build games that take advantage of it when they can to whatever denominator fits the platform plans that they have. Now, that does mean that they may decide that there's a speed level with the PlayStation 5 and with potential future PC devices, so they exclude another console. They won't build it on the Switch. They won't build it on the Xbox. Okay, that's a decision that they make from a design philosophy standpoint. But by and large, what you expect most of them to do is actually build towards the lowest common denominator. I hate to use that word because it doesn't mean the capabilities are reduced, but they'll put capabilities in that, you know, we saw this with Mass Effect when we first put it, right? The loading screens were elevators. When we put it on BackwardCompat that we no longer needed, but it was built into the game for the ones that needed it, so that it was there. And then the other ones, and it was faster to load in because they didn't have to do as much work. But anyway, the macro point is I use the term red herring, right? It was a false comment to say it's either or. There will probably be a selection of games that decide to take advantage of a capability that you couldn't do anywhere else. Most of those will come from first party, and I think that's valid. But by and large, majority of games will be able to be multi-platform, will be able to be multi-generational. And ultimately, I think that's better for the industry as a whole. That's why I worked on the programs that I worked on, right? The idea of bringing these games to as many people as possible on as many platforms as possible is the best way to grow the industry. And I just think that my opinion, that is an archaic way to look at it, that is used as a way to market a specific capability, and I don't think that's necessary. Because if the game itself has some capability that is only available on one console, hype that piece.
Right.
Don't tear down an entire industry or a shift in the genre that you to sort of inappropriately hype up something that doesn't even exist in the public yet.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I want to double down on what you're saying, because obviously the philosophies are different, and what you're saying, again, I just want to be correct with what you're saying as far as, you know, the majority of titles, you know, generally are designed multi-platform, and we hate to use the word lowest common denominator. And for example, put it this way, let's just speak specifically to the PlayStation 5, right? So we know that they have this differentiator with the SSD, you know, and as far as, you know, both consoles have next generation SSDs, but we do know that that is something they're touting. We saw the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, you know, the 8K textures loading, all this stuff that they're saying is only possible on that. But what you're saying, just to reiterate, the majority of development based on it being multi-platform, third-party, for example, translating to spec to PC and other devices, are going to spec with those other factors in mind, as opposed to solely just maybe the PlayStation 5 or maybe just first-party exclusive. Is that kind of what you're getting at as far as the SSD portion? Because we know that's a differentiator.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a good way to phrase it. This is at its heart, this is not a binary decision.
Right.
Right. Like that. I think that's really where, and this is what plays into all of this debate all the time about, you know, which console is better, and it's not binary. Most of these games will be games that play on multiple consoles. That like there will be games at some point that take advantage of a specific feature, and they will be the exception that people talk about. They won't be the bulk of the content.
Right.
And that's really, I think, the missing part of all this, is that by making it this false choice, oh, you can either have this game that takes advantage of our SSD, which is faster than anybody else's and can do things no one else can do, which is their claim. Then you turn around and say, but as a result of that, you can't have the back catalog of 5,000 games. I think that's a garbage choice, and it shouldn't be framed that way. You can do both.
I feel you said solve. Okay, go ahead. If you guys have questions, I have
No. I just want to just, you know, state that in the next generation, the least common denominator is the PlayStation. I'm just going to let y'all know that now. All right. So the only thing that's separating them is the SSD. Now, when the first-party developers actually take advantage of that SSD part, or just a third-party developer is making a game only for the PlayStation that can utilize the SSD to its fullest, then that's when the SSD will be prominent. But going into the next generation, the far superior unit is the Xbox, and I just want y'all to be very clear. You know,
here we go.
When we're talking about the weaker version here, we're really explaining the weaker version is
behave, sir.
I'm just saying. Because you know, a lot of dudes is like, because you know, the weaker common denominator is the Xbox. You're losing it. Let's go to the CPU and the GPU, because the last time I checked, the SSD do not make graphics. So I'm just saying this. I know I don't make a computer, but I know this part. When I'm going to buy them, they tell me the most important part is that CPU and that GPU.
Right.
They tell me that. So I don't go in there and say, yo, let me get the best SSD and let's forget about the CPU and the GPU. I don't do that. Okay, just let's use this. Let's work with this here.
Fair enough. Let me get Lord G from LordsOfGaming.net, brother, man. He said, Lord Bill, was there some sort of licensing issue that prevented MechAssault from back compat, or just wasn't high on the list? You know, you still gonna get these, Bill.
I know, I'm still gonna get these. This is one of those ones that comes up all the time, because it was high on the list from a fan voting perspective. It is high on my list. I love that series. All I'll say is making sure I don't say the wrong thing. The MechAssault license is a mess, and it really is just a sort of a certain people own certain elements of it in certain cases, and it's really crazy. In fact, I think Windows Central Gaming wrote a whole piece on it that's worth looking into. Jez Corden had some stuff on this, and it is definitely one of those titles that's it's sort of stuck in this legal limbo.
Gotcha.
And by the way, like that's the other reason I think this particular topic gets me so fired up. And Cog knows this, King knows this, right? Like, I'm a real big believer in the preservation of the gaming history and gaming legacy, and I hate the idea that we're finally on the cusp of most contracts are written to support the notion of long-term compatibility now, right? We're moving past the era where everything was written, generally speaking, was written to a specific console
like
for a specific period of time.
x86 machine learning, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it was even worse. Like, we saw contracts that called out the console type by name, and so the idea of even running an emulator was blocked. And so, it's not one of those things
they
where
caught on to you guys. They're like, "Oh, we're going to do this by name.
We're going to put money in to get them to talk." So, so I think that's where wherever we can, we want to push the industry as a whole. I want to push the industry as a whole to not think in generations. I'm not thinking, oh, well, now there's a new generation. It's a chance for me to just throw away all the old stuff and start new again and remind that consumer. The games industry doesn't grow with that mentality. So I think it's really important to push that, and that's where I hope that the industry as a whole takes the approach of, let's not make our licenses restrictive, let's not make our plans restrictive, let's get this on as many platforms as possible.
Absolutely.
So pretty much how you would say, like, is the best approach is like, look, there's still going to be that, that next generation experiences, but you're never going to leave your previous generation games behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as customers move into buying digital.
Yes.
You have to put protections in place so that they don't lose their entire digital library just because some company decides that this is just a better way for them to make money.
Right. Yeah. Now, I want to double. Oh, sorry, because I was last.
We got all the super chats.
I'll get the super. Oh yeah, get the super chat. Sorry, then
I'll get the super chats before. Okay, yeah. So we have a $2 super chat by Gamer by Choice. Thanks for all you do for gamers, Lord. Salute.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Then afterwards we have.
I think it's
Dodge, we had Cat Daddy.
We got Gene.
We got Gene over
there. That's Cat Daddy.
Yeah.
That's what Cat Daddy is.
We got $2 super chat from Cat Daddy. Talk turkey with me, Bill. Is Fable coming or not?
Wow.
They go straight to the.
I can't answer on that one.
They go straight to the brass tacks of the bill. Like they don't even.
He's gonna shoot him. I can't blame the man for not shooting
this shot. They shoot this shot. You gotta respect that.
You gotta
Please do it.
But that's why they call him the Wall. Thank you.
No doubt. Blocked. That's right. Blocked is serious.
We got a £5 super chat from the Dark Knight. Hey guys, at the hospital with my son. I definitely hope everything goes good there, man. Yeah, man. Enjoying the Lord's view on the Lord's Day. Have a great Sunday, everyone. Stay salty free. Stay salt free.
Salute, Dodge, man. Shout out, salute to your son. And
absolutely.
The healing process. What else we got?
Everything goes well.
Yeah.
Then we have Emmanuel A with $2 super chat. Can Xbox make some Xbox Series X back compat games only for Xbox One X?
Yes. Huh? All right. Can they make? Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. And then we got Pixelbit. Y'all got Pixelbit?
Pixelbit G with the $5 super chat. Great stuff, guys. Is Bill able to speak on back compat and velocity architecture yet? Is that still under wraps? And if we can expect a deep dive in the future?
Interesting.
Not from me. Today.
He's like, hold on. Probably. We got hip hop in the building, y'all. So love the Lord's Big Bill. Love you, man. Yeah. Got confirmation from a dev working on an exclusive for Series X that confirmed that held back development because of the One X. So
I knew this was the one I was gonna get.
You know you're gonna get this. You know that, Bill.
Because there's a couple of them who've said this, right? Yeah. I want to be diplomatic. Right? Like there's as many opinions as there are developers, and I absolutely expect that there are people who try a technique and they looked at that technique and they went, that's not going to work. And so we're going to bypass it. It's not the way we can make this the best game. And that is a design decision. I can't speak to how it got there. I can't speak to if maybe they can't do the thing that they want to do without it. So I acknowledge that there's probably developers sitting right now who going, yep, I can't do this because of this decision. Right. But I would argue, having worked with developers for a long time, that if any developer was challenged by that, I know Xbox has a great division in ATG, the Advanced Technology Group. Sit with them and see if you can't work it out and really understand if it's viable or not, as opposed to just, this is what I saw. Like We've seen this in getting back-combat games ported. People said no, it won't work. They did this decision. You can figure that stuff out. At some point, it's software that you can work with, and it's a question of trying to figure it out. But I also acknowledge that there will be people who look at what they've got in front of them and decide this is not the right way to go, and this is not where I can be.
All right, let me double down on it. Okay,
real
so
quick,
get
though,
your balls
on
off.
what Bill just, on what,
Yeah, and I got something too.
So, going by what you just said, do you still feel that at the launch of a console that like a lot of these games are still coming in very hot and the devs haven't had enough a lot of time with the machine, or as much time as they would like with the machine to be able to sort of get over those hurdles that they might spend more time on if they had 2-3 years more with the or whatever with the hardware?
Oh, I think that's always the case. I mean, that's been every generation of hardware. The first gen games, even when we had generations of hardware, right? The first gen games are always sort of in this bizarro, like, well, we got tech, but we only have so much time, right? Because there is just a natural cycle how long it takes to build the silicon, build the prototypes, build the actual pieces, and then go through and test and validate to get to a point where it's like, okay, and now also write a game on it, right? They don't get development kits till a certain part of the cycle because the hardware has to be stable. Then they have so much time to build the game to get it out in market, because it turns out Christmas comes at the same time every year, so you can't just slap that out to February. And that's where they have to work through all of those those issues. And so the third generation of a console life cycle is always the when you see some of the most amazing stuff.
Right. So it's definitely just one of those things where it's like it's a hurdle. They can choose to say that we can't do it, but it's probably an issue of we don't have the time to do it right now.
And it mostly will be, but I'd also add, and maybe they can't. I could absolutely construct a scenario where the way that we've built this is that this won't work on that architecture, and so there's nothing we can do about it. But I think that that's the exception rather than the rule.
Gotcha.
And more importantly, then, to go back to being consumer friendly, then let's let you bring your whole catalog with you, so that you actually have stuff to do while games continue to evolve, and maybe eventually they stop worrying about building games that run on the old platform, but as long as the ones that were built there are compatible and pull forward, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
We have some super chats for you.
So first off, we have Crazy Geek Dude with the $5 super chat. Yes. Could an exclusive Xbox Series X game be played on older hardware via xCloud streaming?
Bill?
I'll answer that technically. Yes, sure, of course it could, because it's just anything you stream can be played on anything with a screen and a controller.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah,
we got some special
we have somebody with a double name here. Lord King David. $45 super chat. Brap sends his
messy.
We have another $25 super chat from this person called Lord King David. Who is
this guy?
Who is this person? Max sends E3 2020 love.
Interesting. Yeah.
So hold up, that's not King.
I don't know who this guy is. This guy, man.
That's me.
King sending himself money.
Investing in the bag. I appreciate that.
Let me explain what happened. Right. Okay. So we all, E3 was paid for. Everybody put their money up, and unfortunately, everything went upside down, guys. And what was held back was, I sent back everybody their money minus like $50 because they was holding back fees and stuff like that from the house and stuff like that. Well, the car money came back and everything came back, and I was waiting. Didn't get the flight money back. That was dead. They gave me credit. So they did finally sort it out and send back the money minus, a couple of bucks from the fees. So the money the $50 that I held back from people, some people decided, don't even want the $25 back, because it averaged out to $25. They said, do me a favor on Sunday, just give it back to the realm.
Right.
So that's me giving back the $25 from all these individuals that said, thank you. I support everything that you guys do. And, this is a sad week, but, take that 25 and, just roll it back in, and let's see what we can do as a group together and achieve something else. So, I don't hold any bread. I put the bread back where the bread goes.
Salute,
Yeah,
salute.
no doubt. Shout out. We have one more from Eric Jackson sending his love. E3
Yes.
2020. As you can see, like all these brothers are going to be. I wasn't going to be with us. They were all going to be in the house, in the compound.
Shout out to Ainsley, Board of Seasons Gaming was going to be with us.
And what's funny is today would have been the Microsoft conference.
Today would have been the Microsoft conference.
We would have been cooking outside of the Microsoft Theater. Yeah.
Standing on line.
I'm just curious what kind of cooking we would have done.
Oh no, y'all would have been cooking outside there. We would have been inside.
Yeah,
Shout out to Phil Dominus, soon to be Aurelius. He takes very good care of us.
King, where the scarf? Like, where the scarf?
Are you saying that you guarantee you're gonna get
when it's cold outside, they make sure that we have scarves. When it's hot outside, they make sure that we have little umbrellas on our hats. So I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but you know, my experience with Microsoft has definitely been a choice.
Are you saying you have an inside track to FanFest, King?
No, what I'm saying is I have been fortunate enough to be selected by Microsoft's unbiased
arbitrarily selected.
Moving along.
Where did you get that scarf?
Oh, who did that for me? That was inside. That was inside my swag bag that I got from Microsoft FanFest, and I used that same scarf to get such cachet at the what is that?
We was at the Acer party. They were
with the Acer party. When I put that scarf on, they thought I was a Microsoft exec. Bill, I was eating it up.
I'm sure the way. I'm sure the way King.
Hold on.
Laugh.
Bill?
I was gonna say what cracks me up about that scarf is I got one, but I got one way later than you. So here's the thing: nobody on the engineering team ever gets any swag. The marketing folks just take all of it, give it the press, and we get nothing. And I actually made a comment on my marketing guy. I'm like, you don't ever take care of us. So these had all gone out. Everybody have them, and then he gave me mine like in the summer afterwards. I'm like, why are you giving me a scarf now? And he's like, well, I don't need them anymore, and now you can't say I never gave you anything.
What it was, Bill, is he panicked? The guy's like, oh, here's a leftover scarf. Let's get
exactly what it was.
Oh my god! Shout out, we caught up with the super chat. Look like
$2 super chat from Cat Daddy. Does Bill have an Xbox franchise he'd like revived?
Oh, that's nice. That's a good question.
That's a good one.
Oh, geez, there's so many of them, right? Like you go back, and it's not just Xbox franchises. I was actually going through the summer sale on PlayStation. I shouldn't say that, right? I really was. And like Infamous Second Son was up, and there are so many great franchises. I will say, I really do miss the Mech Assault series. I think that's absolutely one that's just sort of missing from, and I also want a reason to find a Steel Battalion controller, like a next gen version of that. I think that'd be so awesome. There's a zillion of them, and I think as I would go through a catalog, you'd see me find just tons of them. The other thing I think I will say I miss is, and maybe you have to have two of them because it's only every other one that's good, is the BioShock series. I'd like to see that come back and be a little bit stronger too. So we'll see.
No doubt. So look, real quick, I know we jumped in on this, but I just got, again, for me, again, learning this whole game design thing, you know, as far as scalability, I just want to double down on scalability and how that really works, because a lot of, you know, people feel that stuff is going to get held back in reference to the Series X's approach, right? And stuff like so I just want you to say, like, how is it exactly kind of like how PC does it, where you have, like you said, the lower end 1060 and someone has a 2080? Is it like the equivalent of, like, you know, if you have a Series X, you're like at ultra settings, and then the base one, whoever's got a 1060, he's at low, and maybe he's the Xbox Series S guy, so to speak? Does it work in that way? I'm just trying to understand conceptually, simplistically for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, like that's a really long topic, because there's so much that goes into how you create every element of the game. Generally speaking, I think that if you look at PC, that's a good reference point for exactly how this works, right? You see the ability, like, you don't see sliders in your games per se, to set. Most games don't tell you that. They just know what your resolution is, and they know what your output is, and they know how to deal with it. But yeah, I think that when it comes to let's take the SSD out of it for just a second. Generally speaking, the ability of a game to scale up or down is known capability. It's not something that studios go,
So
oh, how would I ever do that?
This is an essential part of game design, as far as that's how games work now. Like this
Yeah,
is like the evolution.
that's just how they build them, right?
Gotcha.
And there's a balance that you strike between how the engine runs and how you want it to output what frame rate, and so you get what stability, what graphic capability. All that stuff is known, and you can even see how it's measured. And like when you look at Digital Foundry and how they go through, like those are intentional decisions. They didn't just throw it all together and then threw it on a machine and went, oh, I wonder how this works. And I mean, that goes all the way back to, I don't mean that sarcastically, like it goes all the way back to having a turbo button on your PC to make sure that it ran at the certain rate when they were building them to the certain clock speeds. And so you have, you get to a point where all that stuff is without question and not an issue. Now, the reason the SSD, I want to remove it because that's a very specific topic that people like to hold up as some sort of mythical thing, right? Like ultimately, it is an element to it, and the speeds of the bus to allow them to pull textures through that engine is a design capability that you can't necessarily replicate. But at the same time, again, you are talking about a specific path that does a specific thing. And are there ways to do this at a different speed or a different rate that still allows you to put it into the game? And I expect you will see games have to learn this technique anyway, as PC game manufacturers and developers are building to address increases in PC speeds and the ability to move to that dynamic. This is not something that only Sony will be able to do forever. And it's not something that's unique to them. So at some point, game developers are going to have to accommodate it.
Got you. Now let me transition, because you on fire right now. You literally transition to what I wanted to ask you next, which is, again, in fairness to, you know, a lot of my Sony guys are in the chat right now. They go on and killing me. But I want to ask this, you know, in reference to the PS5's I/O. What we're hearing, it's on a different level as far as throughput, right? So what I'm asking is, like, because of that, you're saying that developers are still going to have to come up with ways, right, to accommodate this for other things, or like, because the language is the marketing language is
language,
yeah, you know, we got to call it what it is that it can't be done, and it will allow for things that just cannot be possible. You know what I'm saying? So the way I understood it was, like, for example, you know, when I was looking at stuff with Xbox velocity architecture, things like that, like, you know, if you play a game and the classic scene, you go from one area to the next area, but instead of just transitioning, right, you'd have that slow, I'm going through this slow space and I'm crawling through this crevice, and that's like the trick to kind of load in to the next.
Talking about that thing that they was doing with the Unreal Engine 5 engine when it was going through the
that Final Fantasy 7 remake is an example. Like, you know, you go, the screen zooms up and the character's going through this tight little, let's be real, there's tricks to load into the next joint, right? So we know what it is. So again, I don't want to discredit the PS5. I don't want to, this is not what I'm trying to do. But what I want to say is, you know, we hear about this I/O throughput and things of that nature. You know, so what you're saying is developers who may not have that technology and stuff like that are going to have to come up with ways to accommodate that, or is this something that's just, again, exclusive that just cannot be done?
So, and then there's a chat about, like, you know, RAM and memory bandwidth. Like, I think that all that stuff, like we say SSD, that's shorthand for the whole subsystem for memory. It's not meant to be just exclusive to the drive, right?
Correct.
And yes, you will need all that stuff. And I think so. I wanted to call out, like, I'll say two things with that. One, I understand that it's a marketing point and a hype point, and I think I said in the last podcast we did, I'm really impressed with what they've done in the architecture with their drive, and I think they'll be able to do really cool stuff with it. I also don't think it's as impressive over what you'll be able to do with what the Series X has done.
Right.
And so I have high confidence in that team. I will also say, look, I reserve the right to wake up smarter tomorrow, and someone may prove me wrong, and we'll learn, right? Like, the one thing I have learned is I never underestimate game developers to take advantage of something and work the way around it. But that works on both sides. And so the ability of a game developer to look and say, okay, I'm building this game and I want to have seamless transitions with no loading screens for on PlayStation, but I'm also going to want to sell it on Xbox.
Right.
What am I going to do to manage that kind of thing? Like, that will be the tricks and the techniques. And so maybe, I'm just making this up, but maybe there are elevators in the Xbox version and not on the Sony version, right? I don't know yet how they're going to address it, but they will learn to address it,
right? And
they will figure out ways to work around it, and that's where you'll get this dichotomy of these statements of absolute versus what we can actually do. when the games are released and out.
Fair enough. The chat is on fire, Soft. You got to get these.
We have a bunch. Okay, so we have Stitch with a $5 super chat. A bit late here, but now let's trick the guest into making him spill some beans on the table. Salute to everyone here. Bill's too smart for that. Switch to the bushes.
Yeah.
Cog.
All right. Stitch,
Specifically the cog.
Stitch, you get this one. Switches in the bushes this week for the Outer Worlds port. You earned that one. Continue.
Shout out to Emmanuel A with the $2 super chat. Is Xbox buying Mistwalker and making Lost Odyssey 2? We can only dream. Okay, hold on. I just got jumped for a second.
Kiss
Okay,
Move.
we have Kiss Move with the $5 super chat. Bill, what does the velocity architecture do? How would you compare it to PS5 SSD solution?
You guys have to get Jason Ronald on the show. He's the right guy to talk about it. It's like, again, this is this balancing act I have to strike between. I used to be in the team and now in a different group. So I can't spill. I can't give away all his
fake ignorance on this topic.
No, but he's completely right on it because he would expound on it in a totally different manner. And a lot of those questions is definitely for him.
Yeah.
Then we have Justin Maroney with the $10 super chat. Please take note that on this day the Scarf Gang was formed. The book of X.
Right.
the book of X. You gotta get the book of X for that. You gotta get the book of X for that. No doubt.
Then we have Slow-Mo Backslap with the $5 super chat. Bill, when do you think minimum specs for PC games will include the NVMe SSDs? And side note, Destiny 2 is so bad you think it ran on Fortnite. Thanks, I'm out. Dropping the mic and walking out.
You're so messy, Slow-Mo. Let's ask that. Let's get his first question though. We're gonna ignore the Destiny slander. So yeah, what do you think about that, Bill? As far as the when you think minimum spec for PC games will include NVMe SSD, because that is another differentiator. We have established that.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be. I think it'll be content driven. It'll be games driven. Somebody will come out with something that others are going to want, and they're going to push to have that be just like Half-Life Alyx. I'll use that as an example.
Yeah.
That drove massive VR headset penetration relative to where the industry had been, just because in order to do that, you had to have have VR.
Yeah,
right.
Fantastic game, by the way. And the good news is once you drive it, once you drive those initial set of sales, VR usage hasn't slowed down, even though most people have finished Half-Life Alyx, right? You get people in, you pull them through. So I think it'll be something like that that'll push that to be something that becomes more standardized.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, I had that question because I wanted to know, did that game actually do what it was intended? Because I understood that everybody wanted Half-Life, right? And to get some form of that world back, they, because people make all these mock-up games and all these remasters and all this other stuff of the game, and to have it in VR and to make that VR only, and that's the only access point to get satiated for that. A lot of people that would not normally try VR but love that world went out and purchased VR for it. And I wanted to know, did it actually achieve that? Because you're working in that realm now, so did you actually see those numbers spike in a way that gave y'all positive results as a cause of that game? And would other IPs that have that same fan base use VR as a catalyst to get more people in?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Not only did you see spikes across hardware sold, you saw spikes in hours, you saw overall that game showed that there is demand for AAA VR titles.
Right.
It is kind of amazing what they accomplished from just a technical perspective, but it did drive usage. And then what it also did is it drove a halo effect of others. Once you got the headset to play Half-Life Alyx, you're like, well, I'm done. What should I do now? And so you grab Boneworks, or you grab Gorn, or you grab some other game that was out there. And usage has stayed high ever. So yeah, we saw both a spike in just the industry saw a spike in sales, and you also saw a spike in users coming back to VR even when they weren't playing that game.
Okay, great.
You got Solve. You got Luke Lord.
Luke Lord with your $2 super chat. Thank you guys for being role models for us all.
Salute the Inception Ghost.
Then we have Eagles Fan 76 with a $5 super chat. Bill, can you talk more about machine learning AI? I think that is one of the breakthroughs techs for next gen for ray tracing, frame rate, and 4K graphics.
Again, this is like a whole topic. We have that take hours and hours.
I know.
But I will say that, like, it as an industry person, just in general in the tech industry, I'm really amazed at how robust and usable machine learning is to determine just any kind of thing we can see. You see everything from Google coming out with Stadia and saying that we can predict the player movements, and so that if you get bad connection, we can play for you until you get back. Like, there's all these concepts behind it. It's pretty impressive stuff, and it'll just continue to be better. But beyond that, that's a broad question. Good one, but a fascinating topic.
Then we have Eagles fan 76 again with the $2 super chat. What is the big break for VR besides affordability?
This is definitely a Bill question.
I think it's a couple different things. One, affordability is it, and I think so. Affordability is a big part of it. The second part of it is, and it's sort of part and parcel to affordability. It has to do with being connected to the PC. That element has to change. I think the Quest shows the demand for an untethered experience is there, and that leads to affordability. But at the same time, then you get into this world of how do you get the affordability down but still be able to run the processing at the piece that you need it to be at to give you an immersive, because I mean, if people talk about frame rate on consoles, let me give you a bad frame rate on your VR headset. It just becomes vomit goggles, right? Like, you have to drive that piece. And I think those are the combination of the two. Is it's getting more processing power in a portable format and in a better form factor that will really push it to be more mainstream.
No doubt. Let me get Lord Hip Hop is back, man. Shout out to Hip Hop in the building. Hey, Bill, what are your thoughts on Tim Sweeney saying PlayStation 5 storage is best in class over Series X and PC, and the overall Unreal Engine 5 demo? Also, DLSS 2.0 though.
Hip Hop putting a lot in there, huh?
Yeah, he on it.
I already said I think that what Sony's done, like, now that I'm not in the Xbox group anymore, I think what Sony's done is pretty amazing. They've done a great job in that element of it. I also thought the Unreal demo was great, and it's exactly what I'd expect out of an Unreal demo, just like they've done every generation of hardware. That was a good tech demo, and I think that, and as they've said themselves, and it'll run on more than just the Sony platform. Correct. And it's a good way to showcase what you can expect. I also don't think you'll see any games looking like that when it launches.
Hold on, Bill. I can't let you rock off like that to the sunset. So first off, we've established this is a tech demo that's a multi-platform tech demo that is running for other things. But why don't you think that?
Well, I mean, look, there's a whole so game development is a trade-off of compromises, right? You have, you can do that kind of game. There wasn't enemy AI. There wasn't a full game there. Right? It was just an engine that was showing you capabilities. And here's the thing: this is not a knock on what Unreal did at all. Right. They do this all the time. They did it again. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, that's correct.
Or 13, whatever it was. Anyway, but this is showing people what their engine is capable of doing. Right. But no game developer can just take that and then also throw in all the other game logic and throw in all the other capabilities and throw in all the other collision detection and all the physics and all that kind of stuff, and then say, here's your full game. It looks exactly the same as that. Right. Yeah, it is exactly what they said it was. It was a tech demo, and it was a fantastic tech demo. Right. They build an Unreal is to its name, Unreal in terms of its capability.
Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to save you, Bill. I'm trying to save you. I don't want to misquote you with these things.
Let me give a shout out to the 270 that's in the chat watching, and that's on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Mixer. Listen, put those likes in the chat. Let's get those likes up.
Yeah, shout out. Lord Bill's dropping a lot of knowledge right now. Look, listen.
Remember, man, you got to get 3 shows, 300 and above for me to have some overalls in the trucker hat.
Trucker hat and overall addict is on route 300, man.
No, he's not on route. That's those likes where they should be.
Where the likes gotta go. So look, shout out to Cat said, put on the Eat the Beat. Yo, you stupid. All right, we're gonna stop being messy, chat. I see y'all fanboying and being messy, but I gotta ask, all jokes aside, like both consoles, I wanted to ask you this. What technologies excite you the most about the next generation coming in? What's the thing that got you pumped?
So I'm gonna be negative. I'm excited for both consoles. And look, whenever you see games take a step forward, a generational step forward, it's always good for the industry. Yes. But this has been the hardest one for me to contextualize. What's the like? there was the step to now we're playing online multiplayer.
Yes.
There was a step to now we're playing high definition graphics.
Yes.
There was a step to, I guess now I'm not sure what this step is yet. Maybe it will end up being about IO and bandwidth. Maybe it'll be about true 4K 60 120. I mean, but I don't really yet know. And so I'm taking more of this. I'm super excited just from the standpoint of it'll be cool to have another gen.
Right.
And play games that can take advantage of better hardware just in general. But I don't know what specifically I'm going to see that's different.
Is it?
Whereas the other generations were much more clear cut.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's okay. He encapsulated everything, my whole concerns, right? That I don't think people will see that generational leap that they're begging for in the manner that they expect.
Right.
And I think it's more of a, you have to be in front of it, because I don't really think you're going to get it off of YouTube when a lot of people don't, stream in 4K 60 on YouTube, right? So, I mean, when you see a 60 frame per second game while you're there, you're like, wow, that looks amazing. Then when you touch it, it feels incredible.
Right.
So my thing is, how are you going to convey next generation where we're playing at 4K now? You don't get no more 4K-er, right? So you're at this point where 4K and the fidelity is already high, because I'm looking at these games and I swear, I stop in Odyssey and I look out over the world. I can swim to where I'm going to get to. I can ride my horse to where I'm going to get to. I can get in my boat. There's really no limitations on my gameplay experience, right? So I said, okay, now going into the next generation, what will I do to make things a little bit different? Frame rate, and probably a little bit more like textures or making the world more alive. But how do you convey that? To the next generation?
I think you're onto something, King, because I think even Phil alluded to that, right? It seems to be, Bill, I think you're onto something. I had to give you the onto something. I think this is the hardest generation to convey the difference. It's like you said, King, like it's one of those things you have to be in front of, whether it be, I know me coming from PC gaming now, I know how much NVMe drives make a difference with booting up my PC, with load. I'm playing Destiny, I'm in the map already while guys are still in orbit. You know what I'm saying? Like I see those differences, but again, I think it's gonna be, this is my opinion, I think it's gonna be a combination of system solve where like all these things together while you're in front of it enriches the experience and also frame rates. Big for me, frame rates, please.
Absolutely. On the console side is something that we haven't seen as a base, as a jumping off point ever. And I can speaking of King's point, that's what he really wanted out of this next generation. Like, let's get every single game running at 60, even if we have to. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, to me, resolution is a nice way to sell your platform, is a nice way to sell TVs. But at the end of the day, I think when you compare what else you can do with the game, right? Give me 1440p if you can give me 60 frames per second, and you can give me the game running at a comparably like to high to ultra settings on a PC. I'd take that, because my TV, our TVs in terms of upscaling to 4K, like it's very difficult to see the difference. And beyond that, techniques that devs are using now, we laughed a lot about checkerboarding and stuff like that. But if you really put stuff side by side with true 4K, my personal opinion, I don't think true 4K is necessarily the game changer that it's made out to be. I would prefer these other things moving forward. If you had to sacrifice anything, true 100% 4K rather than some sort of variable sort of resolution solution, I'd be happy with that.
Delilah just said it in the chat, and I think she's spot on. Like, I think that there's a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes tech around machine learning, better NPCs, but like there's a lot of tech that's going to be in this next generation that will actually validate, I think, the decision to upgrade. But at the same time, it may just be that we're witnessing an industry shift where consoles are becoming like phones, right? Like, is there really a huge jump between this Android device and this Android device and this Android device, and people are dropping $800 every 2 years? Well, maybe that's where we're getting into. There's a model where, unlike past generations, you're seeing incremental improvements and you're seeing lots of changes behind the scenes that will then lead to better games, but it becomes more of a continuum, which I'll bring it back to the start, is one of the reasons why compatibility is so important, because then you can pull through that continuum and continue to get better experiences, but also not have to think about it in the true, like, it's been 5 years, time for the industry to change.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's something that people don't realize. Like, when you look at the Unreal Engine demo, right, it was basically, it was showing you better and more efficient ways to do things they've been doing already, right? It's a matter of, when you move forward, how do you take what you know already and make it easier on the hardware and simpler to do for the devs, right? And I think that to me, that's more important than anything, because the shift that we've seen, especially when, you know, looking at these mid-gen refresh cycles with the PS4 Pro and the One X, on the graphics side, just pure graphics, what you see on the screen, I think we've reached the point where certain things, like, you don't see big differentiators, especially if you're somebody who's playing on PC and you see what ultra settings can do for you or something like that. So
I turn them all off to play online anyway.
There you go. you want that response. So the thing is, to me, sometimes people confuse next gen with just refining everything that they have already
from an efficiency standpoint. Yes,
exactly.
And, you know, I think that's one of the things that annoys me the most. Like, there's very few games I felt like this generation, like, pushed mechanics further. Like, I think the Shadow of Mordor games did.
With the, what you call the system.
And, you know, besides that, like, the Nemesis engine, that's really all I can think of that really, like, stands out this whole generation. It's like, I get it. Games got to look nice, but it's like, sooner or later, the gameplay got to be more important.
Right.
Then what? How many pixels is on the screen?
Like, because I want to double down and bring it back to Bill with that, because my question is, now let's get to the magic word, which is game design, right? And I want to know, like, because of these technologies, all, you know, again, not everyone individual may be like, wow, game changing in itself on an individual level, but maybe the culmination of all these systems. Do you think we may get some new implementations in game design with a combination of all these new technologies that maybe we like, okay, this is something, you know, well, I know Attic is alluding to the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor, but some type of AI thing, well, maybe because we're freeing up resources and other things, like Solve is saying, right? And the devs are now able to focus and maybe direct into other things that they maybe never was able to put things into, like you said, NPCs, or, you know what I'm saying, something like, do you think maybe we get to that point at some point in the generation?
I hope so. I think that's exactly what you want to see happen, just in general. I think that just like when we talked about game streaming, right? Just putting the games in a data center gives you the opportunity to do stuff that you couldn't do when everything had to be self-contained in a console. Like, you give developers tools and you let them see what they can do with them. Game developers in particular, and game design is almost always cutting edge relative to what you see. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of new cutting edge development is going on in the cloud, in with machine learning and AI. And so the opportunity to bridge those two and actually have these interconnected games that can take advantage of it, I hope that gives you, it'd be great to see the Nemesis system in everything.
And what's funny, Lord Bill, is you know how, like, a lot of these, you know, from publisher to publisher, developer to developer, people, you know, they kind of bite other people's style a little bit, make it their own. But, you know, we saw it with the Dark Souls series, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, someone going to take this and make it better. And then, like, 5 years later, I'm like, well, never mind. Like, no one did nothing with that system. Like,
yeah, Bill. I'm sorry, you were finish it up.
No, I think he's right. Like, I think that it is also an industry, and this is meant with flattery. It's a copycat industry, right?
Absolutely.
So as soon as somebody does something that works really well, everyone else will jump on that and deliver, right? When the Xbox put an Ethernet port in the back, everybody's like, "What are you, insane? That's the dumbest thing ever. Why would you do that?" And now you wouldn't buy a console that couldn't connect to the internet, right?
You don't have to. You don't have to look any further than the Battle Royale genre to see that people copycat.
Yeah, the mumble rap.
That's right.
We have another super chat from the top game, right? With the $5 super chat. Bill,
we missed Cat.
Yeah, we had Cat above that.
Cat
we have a $2 super chat from Cat Daddy. Will games have performance over
Over
visual
visual
options?
options. Man,
I don't know
Bill.
if Bill can answer that. So.
No, there's as many options as there are developers. That's a per game decision.
That's a per game. I hope we get that.
I hope
man.
they do it.
Hopefully we do get that. Then we have Hip Hop with the $5 super chat. Bill, One X is more powerful than PS4 Pro, but PS4 Pro games look better. God of War. Will Series X look better than PS5 this time around, or no?
The definitive answer.
Wow.
Apparently, I need to get a worse TV because I think Gears 5 looks fantastic. So I'm not sure where that came from. Because look, you can, and I'm just giving hip hop a hard time, right? Like you can always find like sort of spot examples of this versus that. I do think I think the Series X is going to deliver what everybody's expectations, and I do think that it's not true to say that the PlayStation. Some of their single player games are fantastic, but I think you stack up the comparables. I use Gears 5 as the example because it's almost a showcase for how to do 4K HDR and Dolby Atmos in gameplay experiences. Like it's unbelievable what they've done, and
I feel you. I think
it's equal.
I think what hip hop's alluding to. I just want to give him. I don't want to give him too much heart. That's the homie. As far as like we know Sony's developers. They what's the expression? Like sometimes they tend to get the most out of less hardware in comparison to the Xbox One X. So would you say maybe it's going to come down to from a developer per developer level what they can get out of the hardware?
Yeah, sure. I think it's hard to put. Like, honestly, I'd flip the question a little bit. I wouldn't put it on the hardware.
Right.
Yeah. I would turn to a company like Naughty Dog and say, look, they deliver this. This is the thing they're capable of. The Coalition delivers this. This is what they're capable of. And I believe if you put those companies on other platforms, they would continue to drive to a level of excellence and a capability. I don't think it's anything to do with. I mean, yes, it's the hardware that they're building it on, but they just happen to be self-contained, and so it accrues. By the way, this is why you have first-party studios. It accrues value to your platform. But the quality of those games speaks to what the developer was able to accomplish.
I think hip hop's point also speaks to something that I've always talked about, how Sony's created sort of this archetype for what they consider to be
I call it the Last of Us effect.
Exactly. It's that, and I've said this a lot, and people sort of laugh at it, but it is the truth. Like the games that showcase that platform the best are usually a third person over the shoulder action adventure game where obviously graphics are up in your face, everything is sort of huge, and it's like a scenario that appeals to somebody just looking at it for the first time or somebody who's a hardcore gamer. If you look at that, you're like, wow, this is an amazing looking game. And it's like if the majority of PlayStation games were isometric 3D games, right, that had amazing tech in them, they were beautiful games, detailed, amazing, he wouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody would not say the same thing. The argument wouldn't be the same. Like if you take God of War, right, and then you take The Ascent, the new isometric shooter game that's coming for the X. You look at both of those. The Ascent could have the same budget, the same amount of graphic detail, right? But because of the camera angle, it's not considered on the same level as God of War. Now you take that isometric camera and you push it behind the player character, and all of a sudden they're seen as the same. You know what I mean? You're apples to apples. It's a weird thing, and I've spoken to this before, like how the fact that Sony has sort of figured out that for their base, if they give them those type of games,
the same exact cookie cutter game that and change the people in the world.
I don't want to be flippant about it. These games are different. These games are all deep in their own way, and I love these games. But that archetype draws the eye.
I say this, right? As great as those games look, right? I mean, and they look good.
They look fun.
Could you imagine God of War playing on the Xbox Series X or the X?
Right.
Because I'm telling you right now, and you see the S right there, right?
Right.
Anytime I go from the S to my X, it's like the Vaseline has been ripped off my eyes, and I'm in a whole different world.
And it's not even just that. Like, I still play on the S, and I have a Slim. It's like a lot of these games that's being developed now, like the S and the Slim for the PlayStation, that's like an afterthought. Like the games run horrible, like horrible on them. It's like almost not playable. Like Ori was literally not playable on the S. I had to play it on my PC.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
But if
like,
you have a different type of television, you can brute force it. Like
brute force it, so I can make my S go into hyperdrive mode.
Okay, so
I need a YouTube video explaining
refresh rate.
Sovereign will tell you that I cap for this. I don't buy these beautiful TVs for a lot of things that like Sovereign does, right? Sovereign purchases it for the technical aspect. I purchase it to do things that it's not supposed to do. Like when I run it in the Jutta, like tell them about that.
Listen, when King was the first one of us, or actually the only one of us to get a 3D TV, right? And the 3D TV, in addition to having like all the glasses and stuff like that, it had the de-jutter function. Right, and so we go to King's house. Got Cog and I. King is so happy about showing off the screen. So the 3D stuff was fantastic because I remember going to see Avatar with King in the theater. We lost our mind. So he needed that. He needed that in the house, and he took that step. I held back. I'm right there with him, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing this." But we got to his house, right, and he's showing us.
So I was like, "There's something about this that doesn't sit right with me. I'm gonna wait."
You can't. You know, the rule is you do not talk down about the man.
Yes, you don't go to someone's house.
Do that. So he's showing us Aeon Flux with de-jutter on, right? And it has that screen door effect where it looks like you're watching a video rather than film, right? It looks like she's in your living room.
We used to call it, what is it, real life in the box, King?
Real life in the box. So we, like, again, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Cog. Cog knows what I'm thinking. And I'm like,
Sav is disgusted.
I'm disgusted. And so I don't say anything to King. I'm like, yo, man, I know you loving it. Rock with that. When we get outside, I tell Cock, it's not supposed to look.
Because, like, you gotta understand, Bill. Like, Sav is our AV guy. Like, he's the guy that wants to tweak our settings. So he'll come over your house and be like, no, Cock, that's not the cinematic.
Look, I'm still, Sav and I are of like mind. Like, I still have a Panasonic plasma that I can't get rid of because the black.
Yes, that's all.
That's him.
He'd be like, your TV's
tell him that Panasonic.
I have the whatchamacallit, the Pioneer Elite.
The Elite series, same thing.
Oh yeah, you guys are the same. Sav and Bill are the same. Oh my god.
You know, absolutely. The first TV to get as close to absolute black as ever, like, and then the Panasonic Elite series sort of took it. For me, that is key. Like, picture quality is key. Black.
He could not wait until I was ready to sell that television. He could not wait. So I go and take the bath of it. It was like $6,000, $7,000. I go take the bath of it. I got rid of it for he's my brother, so I got rid of it for you know.
It was like $2,000. I got it.
Yeah. But
So hold up.
So don't be pocket watching.
Did you really like say ain't supposed to look like that? This ain't it, and then you bought it from him afterwards?
No, that's
okay. I was gonna say, man, who's gonna have to get that fraud alert up, man?
I was gonna do that. But the thing is, the TV, he purposely put it in that mode. Like,
I brute force it.
The brute force.
And I was like, because he was like, look at her, she looks like she's right here in the living room with us. And I'm like, yeah.
It makes people sick. Like, literally, if you're not used to it, you'll walk in the room and like, oh.
I ain't go for a King. You actually sold me on that feature. I didn't realize that was the incorrect way to watch it.
Loved it. Like, Cog loved it. He was like, oh,
it was so vivid. I don't know. It just moved lifelike. Where a point where you have to pause. And you're like, wait a minute! I don't look like I'm looking at a video of a person as opposed to looking at a thing. But it's not until sound comes and he's like tweaking about saying, he's like, no, Cog, this is how it's supposed to be.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Sick to my stomach. Yeah. After the initial "Let the Man Rock," then I was like, yo, bro, like,
this is how I got the television. I walk inside Best Buy on my lunch break, and I'm walking past, and I see like TVs on, and there's one TV that just looked crazy. I said, and I just brought the Pioneers. I said, what the hell is that, sir? And he said, oh, that's the new Samsung such and such. I said, why does it look real? Like, why does it look like that? And he said, oh, that's the effect that we have, and that's the new Samsung engine. He didn't know what the hell.
He didn't know what he's talking about. Yeah.
He sold that television right there on my lunch break. I called my boss. This is when I had a boss. I called my boss and I was like, "Yo, I'm sick. My stomach is messing up. I got a TV that's in the back of my truck."
Salute.
Yo, he calls me. He's like, "Yo, I got to get this TV out of here." I'm like, "What?"
You said the Pioneer's up for sale? Let's go. No doubt. Let's get these super chats and catch up real quick.
Shout out to Vagabundo with the $5 super chat. And gotta say something, brother. Say something.
So I want King to read this.
King,
Blaze.
you gotta read Blaze's super chat. Oh Lord.
Blaze says, "Okay, Blaze, 4K Sony,
Baby.
and King bend the knee for Sony and the PlayStation 5. You'll be seeing me soon. Great guest to the show."
Blaze.
Okay.
That's PlayStation right there. That's PlayStation Blaze, man.
Blaze. I say this. Thank you so much.
That's like the equivalent of King on the other side.
That's your equivalent. That's your doppelganger on, on this
No, you know what it is? He's not my doppelganger because I go for excellence.
Oh my God.
Let me say this, right? Let me say this.
I told you, Blaze.
And hip hop definitely said it right. I do believe that the Sony SSD is the best in class. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It is far superior to any SSD that we've heard of or that we know that's coming. But it's very small in size, right? So I don't know how fast it's gonna get down the block. Maybe it has to have to, because it's what is it like? What 800 gigabits or whatever? So you're gonna have to be running up and down the block, running up and down the block. All right, to get the games in, get it in, get it out, get it in, get it out. So we understand that, right? But you can't sit in here be pumping your fists in the air with the PlayStation 5, and it has a weaker CPU and a weaker GPU. Let's just tone it down a bit. Matter of fact. How about they show something first before you start tapping? Because if they come out and say, "This is the PlayStation 5," and it looks like a bowl with grapes in it, how you gonna feel it? I mean, I'm just saying.
Moving on, because we have definitely done this topic to the longest.
We have a couple super chats left.
Yeah, let's get super chat. We gotta move on.
One bad mother with the $10 super chat. Bill, lots of talk around hardware capabilities, not tools. Do you think the tools and improved ease of development could be the story of next gen? We need a return of the middle class of developers. Yeah, shout out to THQ Nordic.
So I'll be quick, but I do think this is spot on.
Yeah.
Like this is preach, right? Because to me, it is the developers that ultimately empowering the developers to do whatever they want to do, and giving them those options is critical for any generation. And one of the things I love about working at Microsoft has been, like, ultimately we're a software company. We build platforms and we build tools for people to build on top of and make businesses out of, whether it's gaming or in Azure or even with Office, and pushing the right tools out to developers. Democratizing the ability of developers to push games into a store and sell them and monetize, like, all of that is critical. And if that ends up being sort of retrospectively what this gen becomes about, I'll dance and sing, because that's a fantastic kind of thing to have.
Absolutely. So we got
one more Six Layer with the $5 super chat. Just had to holler at our boy Lord Sov for caring about picture quality, calibrating the Lord's display. Yes, doing the Lord's work. Yes,
he does the Lord's work for us.
Yeah,
he's serious with that.
Oh my Lord,
he's serious. We all caught up,
and we have Vagabundo with the $2 super chat.
Still hasn't said anything.
And then we have Stitch again with the $2 super chat. King, what are you saying that there's no PS5 yet? What?
I think you missed one. I think you missed one.
What did we miss, Attic?
Missed the $2 super chat.
Jean-Louis.
Yeah.
Jean-Marc Louis with the $2 super chat.
Love it.
PS5 dev kits cooking like Miami and
oh my God. Wow. Moving on. So look, fantastic discussion, obviously. You know what I'm saying, in reference to this, man. Again, we're super excited for the next generation, but we've got to move on because we got a few more topics to get through. So Lord Sov, you are up. Lord Bill, Lord Sov, and I are all members of the. Look at the size. Everybody's just sighing.
This is where you officially get this from me.
we get a mute. Attic is gonna go eat now.
So we're officially Sega kids, and some announcements happened, right?
All right. There were two announcements that happened last week. Right? So first off, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Sega. So shout out to Sega, because I love Sega. We all, like, everybody but Attic knows what we're talking about. So they decided that they're going to celebrate their 60th anniversary by releasing a mini console, right?
Yes.
many of us were hoping and praying. Besides all the rumors about Sony buying Sega, Xbox buying Sega, throw all that out in the bush.
Series X,
Series X, throw all that in the bushes. They decided to celebrate their anniversary by releasing a Sega Game Gear Mini. For those of you in the know, the Sega Game Gear.
This is
it was so.
We're gonna let you unleash.
As Sega kids, we had the Game Gear. I had the Game Gear. But it was not something that I would say I recall fondly.
Would you say the Game Gear was revered? That's what you saying?
It was just not, it's not, I was looking for a Dreamcast Mini.
That's revered.
Exactly. For me, a Saturn Mini, I would have lost my mind. This is not it. This is not it. And so in addition to it not being it, they're releasing 4 variations in 4 colors. Shout out to the winner of Those That Remain PS4 code for getting us that information.
Correct.
4 different colorways, $50 a piece. Now, you would say, "Oh wow! So for $50, you're getting their entire lineup, the entire Game Gear library,
all as one device.
This revered library." No, you're not getting that. Each iteration of the console, so 4 iterations, are getting.
I'm going to put bushes up while you talk. Continue.
Bushes.
Everybody that just joined the realm and as a member of the realm, please
throw the
go in there.
This is a bushes segment. Continue.
So this is definitely a bushes segment.
Make sure you had the bushes up for the Sega brand entirely, not just
easy. Easy. We just all talk about this move.
Ain't nobody talk about Sega these days. Let's be real here.
Continue.
Sega's talking about Sega.
Yeah, continue.
So each version of the mini console will have 4 different games. 4. That's it. But for those who've owned, a Game Gear in the past, 4 games is pretty much what they have. Let's keep it real. But it's just even for the $50 and the fact that it's a mini, it's a super mini console. It's it fits into the palm, literally into the palm of your hand. You can close your hand. So it's one of those that has I'm assuming the HDMI out that you can play on. You can play it on a big screen or whatever. It's it's a product that's built for no one. Not even people that cared about Sega hardware back in the day care about this. It's just a baffling move. Why would you even spend money on this?
Right.
That
wasn't it, so
that wasn't it though. So the actual, if you guys remember, a journalist from Famitsu had indicated early on that he was going to have
20 people over this. We lost 20 people over this.
We don't want to talk about this. This is actually interesting because I want to ask Bill his take on this. So the actual Famitsu article that was going to come out, that was supposed to be PS5 levels of
You've almost lost me over this.
So Sega is launching a cloud gaming service in Japan called Fog.
Get it right.
Fog gaming.
The power of the fog.
The power of the fog. To connect their arcade locations, because as you know, in Japan, the arcade scene is still very much alive. Not necessarily as we remember it, but it is. So the difference between fog computing and cloud computing is that by nature, the machines are physically closer to one another. So the idea is that by connecting these machines, they can probably get latency to below a millisecond, which is kind of crazy. But again, it's one of those things that I don't see why it's necessary, and it seems like a baffling move for Sega. So for me, all of these announcements are in the bushes. I don't know why they're doing this, but I am interested to see what Bill thinks about fog gaming and how relevant that is.
We got to get Blaze. 4K.
Well, let's get those super chats.
Yes, thank you, brother.
Welcome to the world, Blaze. Let's put them shields up there.
Put the shields up for Blaze, y'all. Shout out to that. I
want all the shields in that chat, man. First off, thank everyone that's joined the realm. The show, it's been an amazing thing. I mean, I think we've gotten probably 10.
Yeah,
You know, I think I'm gonna talk to the lords and might do like a poll or something for the members to let you guys have a little bit more, because we got a bunch of stuff like ready to go when it comes to the emotes.
Yeah, I'm gonna when it's before we get off, I want you members to stick around because it's something that I'm going to be doing extra for just members only. Then that has something to do with KOS.
Absolutely. Let's get Smitty Smith $5 super chat.
Actually, we have Jean-Marc Louis first.
Oh, please, please.
We have Jean-Marc Louis with the $2 super chat. People will colonize Mars before we see the PS5.
Wow. Oh my God. That's so messy.
Then we have Cat Daddy with the $2 super chat. Get your bars off, song. Listen. I gotta criticize the things that I love. I love Sega. They're killing me. They're killing me right now.
Yes.
Only Solve can make that topic sound good. Only Solve.
Only Solve. Did we get Smitty Smith? I think we missed Smitty. $5 super chat. How's Sega going to celebrate their 60th anniversary and then rain on their parade at the same time with that trash? Whose man's is this?
Isn't
there like a magnifying glass that makes the screen bigger? Like,
if you buy a special edition, you can get a little booster the screen that goes on top.
What?
All right, Blaze $2 super chat. Yeah, I want my name in blue. You already know, Blaze. All right, look, let's get. We've delayed this long enough for Lord Bill. Lord Bill, our Sega brother. This news dropped. What do you think?
So I'll just take it through there's a part of me that's like, I'm seeing all these rumors about Microsoft and Sega. I'm like, what the hell's going on? When did this happen after? And I was like, I don't.
Bill's on the phone was like, are you doing something with Sega?
I'm like, man, did I pick the wrong time to leave? And then they came out with that announcement, and it was like they punched you in the face first with here's and then they stole your wallet, right? Like, I was so upset with what they released. I'm just what a waste of all the things they could have done. And then and I love how they just have here's 4 games for $50. If you get all 4 colors, we'll also give you a little magnifying screen. And then you can play all 16 of our games. Like,
don't lie, Bill. What it really is it's like the little morpher things. You get all of them together, it turns into a console.
That's right. It turns into a Sega Mini. Stick them all together. What a pointless announcement.
Now let's get to the game-breaking part, Lord Bill. The earth-shattering part, you know, the power of the
fog gaming is an appropriate name.
You know, you are our xCloud connoisseur. So, you know, all right, all jokes aside, from what I understand, the way they're saying it is like it's supposed to be like the arcade units. Like, what did you understand? Did you read like the tech aspect of this?
Yeah, so I've been trying to dig into it. I think I don't actually know a lot about what they've actually got planned, but as far as I can tell, one, we know that their arcade machines are still very prevalent in Japan. Like they're popular. They've got them all over the place. And I know that if you look at just cloud in general, moving to edge compute and the ability to offload is a key component for reducing latency and improving performance all up. So generally speaking, in all scenarios, you're looking for ways to broaden sort of your footprint and get as close to the endpoint as possible. So as near as I can tell, this is them looking at having a high volume of GPU compute, building a cloud around it, and then making it accessible so that they can continue to do things either in off-peak hours or also to enhance the capabilities they may have in their back-end system and build a cloud. You know, one of the things that is one of the reasons we pushed on xCloud as hard as we did is there's only a handful of companies globally that have the infrastructure to actually deploy these services at scale. And so I think this is an interesting concept on the part of Sega, if this is what they're actually doing, to say, listen, we've already deployed GPUs across Japan. Let's use those as edge compute nodes and let's see what kind of workloads we can move into that space. And, you know, back to the conversation we were having about ML and machine learning and AI, like that is one of the reasons that you would use GPU compute. So it's a nice synergy there if in fact that's what they're doing. We'll see.
Yeah, because the way I understand it is like they're going to use like local arcade and game centers in Japan as like server farms and then kind of like create this low latency game streaming service, you know, without the cloud. And then the idea is to stream from the CPU and the GPU on the arcade machines to help performance. But I guess, all right, in fairness, you know, that is not the environment here in the States. Obviously, you know, arcades are pretty much, you know, that's done it. So it's just interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised that this route was gone, you know, but I mean, again, I could be laughing, and this could something. I mean, that could, you know, I don't know. Would you say this? Do you think, based on their market, there is potential for it to thrive with this off-hour peak stuff?
Yeah, maybe. The off hours is the hard part because the gaming still tends to follow a weekend evening cycle, whether it's on internet cafes or in arcades, etc. But I will say that if it's going to work in a market, I completely could understand it working in that market. There's just enough specialization and interest in areas that fit the Japanese market that make it more likely to be successful in that space.
Fair enough. Okay, no, sorry.
Just real quick. So I don't know if you can actually speak to this, but before you left xCloud, what kind of penetration do you guys have over there in terms of servers and whatnot in Japan? Was that something that was moving forward, or was there resistance to that?
Well, you know, what I will say on that is we've been public about it. Azure is the backbone for all of the xCloud services, and Azure penetration globally is the largest global footprint. Now, of the three major cloud providers, us, Google, and Amazon, depending on how you count, we can all be bigger. But we use the global footprint measure specifically because it is relevant to cloud gaming and being close to end customers, and we do have good penetration in all the Asian markets as well.
Okay. Well, fair enough. And Lord Addict, the Sega connoisseur on the panel, what do you think about this groundbreaking announcement that went down? The Tamagotchi-sized Game Gears. Are you pumped? Because you know you like to get pumped about these things with the DS and smaller devices. All right, let me. He muted. Did he just mute it? Did he just turn his camera off?
No, like, what it comes down to is like, look, at the end of the day, Sega makes games I like. I played all the Sega stuff, the Dream stuff, whatever that stuff's called, but like I didn't have any of it. I've never owned anything Sega related. My friend Nathan, when I was in like middle school, had it, but I ain't never played. I played the only thing I can really like subconsciously say I played on the Sega was Sonic. Okay, like cool. If you want this, you want this. But to me, I feel like the next amount of news they're going to say is we got this little thing you can plug up to give it its own light. You know, like it's going to be hanging over it. You could see, like the way I saw it, it's like this small. Like it's like come on, man. Like look at my hands. Am I using this? No.
Whose man's is this? I think that's whose eyes are this?
No, no. I'm sorry. This is your man's. You need to go another direction. Like
if there was an ounce of reverence for that console, it left in anyone, right? For whatever the reason, just nostalgia. Like they just destroyed it. They stopped it. Like.
Like it's got me thinking, you know, all those rumors about, you know, Microsoft buying Sega, et cetera, et cetera. It's got me like, Microsoft, this company ain't it. Like,
this is you out of control. Moving on. Lord King, just curious. We haven't got a chance to talk about Sega as well, beloved with us. We have a lot of history, but what did you feel about this groundbreaking announcement, Sega?
This is what happens when the same people are in charge and they grandfathered in and they stay there. And I saw Sega as a great company that made horrible decisions.
Yeah.
That forced themselves out of the hardware business.
Yeah.
And this same decision is still to this day. You had some tech that they talked about with the fog. Now maybe that works over there. Okay, good. So that good news that you put there, and it's not earth breaking or ground shaking. Maybe for you, right? Because I don't see who is going to, but okay, for you guys, right? All right. Then you turn around and smack the hell out of us with a Game Gear, which I honestly felt was the worst handheld system that ever came out.
As a Sega, I'm glad you said that, King, because I never was a a Game Gear guy. Like, I was actually a Lynx guy over that, or a Game Boy, or a Nomad. Nomad. Remember Nomad?
The Nomad was the best thing that ever came out of Sega as far as handhelds. Listen, I honestly believe Sony's claim to fame.
Oh yeah, PSP. Shout out
is PSP. When I got this PSP Go,
definitely got one of my all-time favorite games on it.
I was definitely in. I thought Sony made eloquent hardware.
What was that called?
The PSP Go?
Oh yeah, the Go.
Yeah, I was a Vita
only
kid,
person using that was you.
Where Blaze at? This was my joint, baby. The Vita.
Yeah, the Vita. But you know,
I think I've only seen that Go once in my whole life. I seen that one, the one there, the real one that Cognito's got.
No, but PSP
that's the old digital one, right, King?
Yeah.
PSP was the evolution. That was the first, and then Vita was it.
Look at that slide up, beautiful. Woo! Sony
didn't they make their own phone too?
Yeah. So Sony makes some beautiful stuff when it comes to handhelds. Now, for anybody that wants to do little mini handhelds, I don't know why you were doing mini handheld. They're already mini to begin with. Yeah. Sony would, right? Sega, you already know what anybody cares about with your stuff is probably a Dreamcast. You can do a Master System Mini, because y'all did the Genesis Mini to death.
Yeah.
All right, and let's get a Saturn Mini. The decision making at Sega is hamstrung by what I feel is the old regime, and people taking control. Not really taking the temperature of the marketplace. Right. 4 games for $50 is not a value nowhere close on this planet.
Right.
And I'm going to keep telling you the only reason why. Okay, so let's say the Mini would came out, right? And it had in the entire lineup, the entire catalog of all Game Gear games on the Mini. And let's say just the screen.
Master System games too.
Yeah, well, just say whatever, you know, but it didn't have just 4. It had everything there. And just each color had a different home screen. Boom. You did that. You make it the same exact size. A little slimmer in the back.
It's just too small.
And you know what the most
it's just I'm done with them.
You know what the most like annoying thing about this, King, is they literally had an outline of what they could do. The Nintendo Mini, the Super NES Mini, like they literally could have just done that, but named it Sega and they would have been fine. They're like, you know what? Let's do something different. It's like, well, we need money, so let's make 4 of them. Okay, what can we do to make them different? Let's give them different games. Okay, what else can we do? Let's make them have different colors. All right, we ain't done enough. Let's make them small. You got it. That's it. That's the thing.
I don't, you know, when it comes to like the things they've been doing in the software side, like Yakuza's popular. You know, Judgment is popular. They've done some stuff. You know, they brought PSO online.
But they're taking the good money and throwing it into bad cash.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like what King said, like the way Sega made their way out of the hardware market for a Sega kid was super painful. That's why a lot of us sort of latched onto Xbox because we
I told
they
you
were our spiritual Sega.
They were the successor. But if you look at how Sega managed to fall out of the market, it was due to, like King said, horrible decisions, right? Like launching the Saturn
in the dead of summer.
In the dead of summer with no announcement, only with certain partners. That absolutely killed it. And then once the PlayStation showed, literally the PlayStation did the same thing they did years later. They came up on stage and said $199 and walked off the stage.
They are accident champions.
And the Saturn died that day. Right then and there it died. And then just the infighting at Sega of America, the bickering between Sega of America and Sega of Japan.
This is bringing up old trauma. Right now, you're gonna send me to therapy off of this right here. Because
you understand, if you were fighting the good fight and you just got knocked out, say, hey, you lost.
I'm catching PTSD.
Yeah, I feel like we're at a funeral. I feel like we're doing a eulogy or something.
This Sega thing is so bad that if we gave it away, people would be like, "Can we get something else?"
you know what's nuts about this whole thing? I literally, like Bill said, Microsoft and Sega. What? And like when they were saying that, and then I started seeing in the background because I started getting these weird DMs. Like I'm part of these groups that and then I'm starting to get these weird DMs. And in one of the DMs. It said, Sega Series X in Japan.
Yeah, remember that.
And I said, for who? Why would they do that? I said, first of all, Phil Dominus Maximus, soon to be a realist, Spencer will never co-sign that. Like, you would not put your name on a bad brand and you're starting a new brand. Like, I said, that makes literally no sense. And I told the dudes, I said, this is cockamamie. I don't want to have nothing to do with this part right here. You're not making any sense. I'm good. I'm good. I said, whoever put this out, that source is bad. That's a bad source. I'm out of here. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe because they was utilizing that same date. I said, okay, so maybe they might be doing something in conjunction with Sony, like a
because
Sonic,
at the time the Sony date coincided.
It made sense.
Right.
So I said, oh, maybe you're gonna show Sonic using Unreal Engine 5, showing a fast SSD.
Blast processor SSD.
Yo,
I see the vision.
And I said, yo, this Sony joint is about to be lit if it happens. Sega, y'all killed me again, bro.
Let's conclude the eulogy with our brother Lord Bill in just, the fine memory. Let's talk about the positive, about the life of times of Sega.
Look at that, man. In order, they love this brand so much, we got to backstep it to when they were popping. Like, we can't talk about the nonsense they do now. We got to backstep.
Listen. Let's talk about a fond recent memory. I thought Streets of Rage was a good evolution for them to let Detemo and those guys relive a classic franchise. I was just hoping for something of that nature, just a franchise. But like, what were you hoping for?
Boy, what was I hoping for? I don't know. It's a good question, right? Like, I think there's so much gold in that back catalog, and it doesn't. It's like getting dusty because they don't do anything with it. They just let it sit. And I'd really like to see them. Yeah, look, I think the hardware days are gone. It's sad that they're gone, but they still are a studio that can produce great content.
Yes.
And I'd like to see them just resurrect that and get back into that business. At the same time, I do understand this is sort of like when you talk about Konami, right? Yeah. The economics of how they make money in Japan are different than what the economics are for most game developers in the console and PC business. And they are still heavy in arcades. They are still in other markets than just console and gaming. And so they're making the business decisions that they think are right. I hope that we see their catalog persist and come to next gen platforms and continue to evolve and continue to grow. But yeah, boy, that was just
and the funny thing, Bill, is like they have such iconic titles. Like, I'm pretty sure they own Persona, don't they?
Persona,
and I'm just like, a company that actually knows what they're doing in this business. You know what I'm saying? Not apparently not Amazon these days. I don't know what they're doing over there, but like a company that, wants to get into this business with a console. All they got to do is buy Sega, and they have plenty of exclusive titles that they can make that's going to be relevant.
Yeah, they're a Japanese company, right? And it's Sammy, I believe. Shout out to Lord Sting.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying American company. I'm saying other companies.
But see, that's the whole thing. You can't buy something that's not for sale. We want them to be for sale.
How many times people say something's not for sale, but enough money comes out?
They back the truck up. Yeah. No doubt. Yo, so let's get these super chats, but we got to move on if we can. I think Forte... I'm up to Forte with the file super chat. Had to come down from the Twitch Ivory Tower to support. What the hell was Sega thinking? Who even cared about the Game Gear? That announcement was disappointing. I feel you, Forte. Let's pour out some liquor.
So we got a $5 super chat from Smitty Smith. Woo. What Sega did was absolutely disgraced. They really should be ashamed of themselves. We got a $10 super chat from the Raven Flow. Sega needs to be like Capcom and focus on their strengths. Their relevance today is mostly based on Atlas, Bayonetta, and Yakuza on Nintendo, and Sony these days are relevant.
Yep.
Ooh,
we got a $50 super chat from Wilmy Hood. Afternoon, Lords, rolling pins and knees.
Rolling pins and knees.
Actually, do we have a new thing? Did you ever put that new thing?
I told Graphic God we're going to debut it next week. Yeah, we had a lot of things going on this week.
Okay, I read like 4 in a row. It's so
no doubt. Yo, first of all, let me
you you are crazy. I saw a tweet that went out, and shout out to Bomber for putting up a rolling pin saying, do I have PTSD? It's funny.
Shout out to Wilby Hood. Shout out to Gaming Behind the Box. We were with those brothers this week, man. And salute to those guys.
Homeboy had a beard that makes me want to trim my
beard. Bomber, we see
yeah.
He's coming for Addict coming back for you, man. We
he can have the beard. Like, this isn't a competition. He can have it. Let's go. Like,
he said, Addict said, this is quarantine.
Look. I'm being like, if it was up to me, this is what I would look like. But I was outvoted, so it is what it is.
It is what it is. So I'll get that super chat, sir. Then
we got Jean-Marc Louis with the $2 super chat. Ask Phil to buy Altered Beast and Golden Axe IPs. Oh, that's good.
Just make different games.
Hold on, I gotta get this one.
Altered Beast at the same level as what they just did with Streets of Rage 4.
Oh man, that'd be so man. Shout out to my Last Word podcast brother Ebontis. It's the best damn podcast you never heard.
Don't you say that? Don't you say that about
I say that
podcast?
About the Last Word when we do the last. Shout out to my Destiny brother. You right on time. I think that's a perfect segue. Obviously, we've did our Sega eulogy. We've got.
Don't lie. You sent that man a message. We about to get to Destiny topic.
Look, we get the Destiny topic in, man. So, Lord.
Now we're gonna drop like 50 viewers instant.
That's what I was trying to tell him. He didn't look at his DM yet.
Oh my God! Listen, man, Lord.
Oh, Christopher Hart. Hold up, King. You got to read that because that's your man.
That's your man's.
No, he's everybody's guy. Come on, man. Like, Christopher Hart only show up here for me. Hold on.
He shows up here to mess with you. Let's not act like that's not what goes down. All right.
For the $2 super chat. Sorry to say, King, but Phil already signed Sega.
Okay, all right.
Okay, if you think so, okay, well, we all know your information is bad because you thought Shoney was going to show up on Thursday.
Oh my God! Moving on. So we have some news, man. What's going on with the Word of Destiny, sir? Addict.
So Destiny, for those of you that I do think we actually starting to build a following that watch it because of you and Abontis the Last Word, but Destiny for the longest time, it's not been the greatest. It's definitely been below average because most of the time Destiny runs, it's like the top 10 most played games on all the platforms, and it still is. It's like 7 or 8 the last time I checked. But this season's definitely been one of the worst seasons they've done, if not the worst. We're going into this next expansion. When Shadowkeep first came out, they actually said season 11 is when stuff goes crazy. So we're about to approach season 11, and yesterday we actually had our very first Fortnite copy moment. So we had our first live event, which it was pretty much there's a ship in Destiny since the launch of Destiny 2 was called the Almighty. It's pretty much like it destroys planets, and we had an incident yesterday where that got blown up in orbit. So we got to see that. And what I want to do, I want to bring to the Lords, I want to bring to the realm, and I want you to talk about it. Say, what was your expectations? What do you think Destiny's going from here on? Do you think with this new technology, with this live event, that we'll see more incidences like this happening? And the biggest thing I want people to say is the Division sucks.
Slow-mo. Come on, you mess.
Slow-mo's in the chat, man. I had to get him.
Going that slow-mo for no reason
about Division.
I just saw him, man. It was collateral damage. Saw him in the chat. I had to do something. But, I definitely want your guys' opinion on this.
Yeah, let's get Lord Bill, because obviously, Lord Bill, I know you were on the Twitter feeds with me. And,
yes, I was.
Yeah, we had a lot to say about this event while it was live. So what did you feel about overall?
I'll give the positive side first.
Yes.
I do appreciate what they were able to accomplish, because I know when they built that game, the notion of doing a real-time live event with lots of people wasn't probably on their radar, or if it was a secondary element, and they pulled it off, and they actually did pull it off. Like, let's give them credit. I think they've established a new capability for the franchise, which will hopefully push forward and become something bigger for how they run it. That said, the execution of what they were driving at, that was a really cool 3-minute segment. and I really resented the 90 minutes ahead of it that I had to sit there. You know, because we were in this mode, like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, where I finally, after like an hour, I got the wife, like, how much longer is this thing going on? Yeah. And it's like, well, my son's downstairs on the Xbox, I'm upstairs on the other one, and he's watching it, and we're talking to each other so we can both see it, both be in the lobby at the same time, on the tower at the same time. And he's like, I think I see red lines. I'm like, where are they? And I realized it's the wrong spot. So then I moved. Are they moving? I'm not sure. They're moving a little bit on my screen. Like it was so bad. So long.
It was so bad, Lord Bill, that we were convinced it was getting bigger. Like we was like, it's getting bigger. It has to be getting bigger. Like, and we kept going different sections of the tower. Like, it looks bigger over here. It's over here. This is where you gotta go. Like,
you almost faked yourself out. No, they moved. Wait, did they move? There's more little dots. And like this, like I will say, the best part of this event has to be Twitter.
Twitter was amazing for this event. Continue.
I feel sorry for them because it really did just and like I said in one of my tweets, I think I could have actually watched an Austin Powers movie in the time it took that whole thing to happen.
What's funny is my name is Bive said he could have watched Toy Story 4 and came back and see the actual explosion.
The end of it. And this is go back to expectation management, which is sort of where we talked about Sega before, right? Like they dropped this tweet sort of out of nowhere of like, hey, turn in Saturday. And everybody's like, wait, what's supposed to happen on Saturday? Like with no advance warning. And then there's no time listed as to how long you're going to be there. And then the first half hour, there's nothing really happening. Like you said, it's like, is it getting bigger? I think it's getting bigger. Maybe it's not getting bigger.
And they didn't even say that. They did not even say that.
And then I see like, you know, Paul Tassie's tweets out like, it's still going on. And then the best part was like, it was really cool when it exploded. It was really neat. Like I guess one thing hit the tower and that was okay, but like it was cool to see. It got loud. They did a nice job with the effects. And then both my son and I are like, so is it done? Or like, you know, we've already spent an hour and a half. I don't want to check out early. Like, is something else gonna happen?
Exactly.
Nothing else happened.
And nothing else happened. So, I know. Lord King, man, we didn't get a chance to talk about the live event. Were you there for the almighty?
No. you know I wasn't there. Sunrise, tequila sunrises, and I was not there.
You got a good night.
Nope, not at all. And y'all did it. Y'all, that's how you want to do it, and that's how you gonna do me. That's what I'm talking about. I sit there, I suffer. See, they said a whole lot of bad stuff about you. Talk about this being the worst season ever, and I was championing this season. I was like, no, this season is fun. I'm having a great time. This is how you do me. This is how you do me.
Season of the worthy.
This is how you do me. You just pop up when you know that I'm not gonna be playing. You're just gonna show up and be like, "Yo, Destiny today at 5," and you know daggone well I wasn't gonna be there. And that's how you did me. And I'm hearing about it like now because I wasn't done. I did not know anything. This is news to me. And I'm sitting here totally, completely, 100% upset. First of all, I'm really more upset that I got friends that know that I play Destiny and nobody hit me up and said, get to a console, pull out your phone, do something, play Destiny right now. Not one person. So all of you, every last one of you dudes that say y'all my friends, you my buddies, you are all in the bushes, and I want y'all to know who did that.
Hey, King, it was nice over here at this PC stuff, man. You would have been on Steam. You would have been there with this. Well, not with us because we kept getting kicked out of the tower, and we had to watch this stuff alone.
Listen, there's no way. I have two 1080 Ti's in my PC. There's no way that I'm playing Destiny on my PC. And let me tell you why.
Don't you feel like 60? If you have two 1080s, that's a reason to play it on your PC?
No, that's a reason for you. For me, once I play at 60 frames per second, there's no going back.
I know.
See, I'm already there. I'm already on the other side of the river. All right, you're still hesitant to put your foot in the water. I've already swam across.
He's doing what I'm doing because he knows if he sees that level of fidelity, is no going back. So he's just holding on. We know Series X, and I know.
I believe in Phil, and Phil I trust. So I believe that the next generation, because if Google Stadia is doing 60 frames per second on their little browser bar, I believe in Phil that when we get the next Destiny over there, or when I put in my Series S and you know,
Bungie have already stated they're going to support the next gen.
They better, because they better not go into no more deals with Sony. If you go into another deal with Sony into the next generation, Bungie, you in the bushes.
Real quick.
To be honest with you, I think they're going to team up with Microsoft next gen. Not like exclusive
Like
content, but I think
marketing,
Microsoft might get that marketing deal.
Yeah, Pay Parsons and Phil have been very buddy lately, so you never know. But let me get these super chats real quick. You still say hey big head. Yeah, you still. Shout out to Drunken Ninja to our super chat. Division slander will not be tolerated, no doubt. Shout out to the Dizzy $5 super chat. The live event was awesome, but not new. Shout out to Ultimate. He always got to do this Ultimate online. Oh my god, he be capping for this. Fantasy Star Online for perfecting these. Both dead franchises, but I ain't gonna say that. And hope to see more. And Games as a Service games. You be capping for that, Diz boy. Oh, here goes slow mo. I need your knees slow mo because you been talking.
I'll do slow mo.
Yeah.
We got a $5 super chat from Slow Mo. Destiny Guardian still in the tower waiting for something to happen. Bungie's still making y'all wait for good content. And yes, Division is also trash. Man, I thought I had something he liked. I'm gonna have to do research next week. I got you.
We don't want to talk about your engagement numbers over there, Slow Mo, but we're gonna leave you alone. But anyway,
there was one other good thing I do want to add, though.
Go, Bill.
The other good thing that happened was when the damage was done to the tower.
Yes,
it didn't hit the Guardian game statue next to the tower. It still get to carry the gold.
Hilarious.
You know what I was upset with, Bill?
What?
That somehow Savala needed to be there, man. We need that man up out of here. He needs to be gone. No, I'm still upset. Titan you're gonna do Cade that way. You need to go. You need to be gone.
Titan mains are not fans of Bill.
His that iconic voice, Black.
I need Lance.
I'd rather have anyone take his place at this point. Like, you know that sweeper bot? I'd rather him be our vanguard than him.
You had a good show. Shout out to Forte. One thing that saved this event for me, I FaceTime my daughter to share in the event with her. Listening to her say, "Oh my God," made that 90 minutes worth it. Look, I feel you, Forte. Here's the thing.
It was pretty crazy when it actually happened. It was because we was sitting there. We was like, we gotta relocate. We gotta relocate. And then you hear Cognito like, where are we going? Where are we going?
Yeah, like it the effect. You know what I'm saying? You know when it hit, and obviously it just took way too long. Like I'm with Bill.
You know how upset I am right now. What? Like you really.
You can watch the video, bro. There's nothing we can do.
Like, no. It's just
what's up? The fact that they did it like that.
I was left out. Like yo, I got no friends. Like I really don't have any.
Stop it.
Yo, no, because I can get stupid texts in the middle of the night. And I'm talking about these things. You know what it is? I know they watching right now because we on Facebook. So I know you watching on Facebook because you text me right now. So you text me right now. You know what? The only reason why I'm gonna give you an out because I know where you was this weekend and you missed it too.
Yeah.
But I know it's other people that y'all was on it and you on Facebook right now watching too. And I know
this is clan shaming. This is clan shaming.
Yes, this is clan shaming. And when I get the headset on, that's all. When I get the headset, I'm going upstairs to play. I'm getting.
You know what, King? You know all this sounds like. You need to keep that Xbox clan more in check over there, man. What are you doing over there? Just letting people run rampant? What's up?
Listen, man.
You're not representing the ILP over there on Xbox too well.
Buzz off before we move on. But look, overall. Again, it just took too long. The event itself is cool. Shout out to Lars Barkin. He basically said this is new tech that they are utilizing for the first time. So to get an online live event of that scale is
it was
pretty
good. It was impressive.
Yeah. So what I say now is, one, you know, obviously you can't hype people up to that level and then, you know what I'm saying, you know, make them wait so long. You know what I'm saying? So that's feedback that they're going to.
And not even tell people there's a 30-minute grace period. So you're waiting for something to happen. You're looking at everything.
So the thing too is, this is what I want, Bill and Attic. I actually want smaller scale versions of this without warning sometimes to kind of create like more like these natural things that are happening in the world. If there's a way that they can do that, right? Because I understand it's like this FOMO thing that, yo, you should have been there when such and such happened or whatever. I literally think Fortnite is the master of this. We know that. Like Fortnite has that down. But I think Destiny has the ability to expand upon it based on the type of game that they have. Like, could you imagine this? I was talking to Attic about this, King. Like, could you imagine an event like this happens? You know, Almighty crashes, you go to the crash site, and then that opens up the secret quest for like a Whisper of the World or something, you know what I mean? Like, or you tie that in, you know, narratively to the start of the next season, and then it's like boom, like the potential
You know,
for this could be really cool if they get a hold. What do you think about that, Bill? I'm just curious about tie-ins and stuff.
Well, I think there's two elements to this.
Yeah.
One, I will say that, and I feel for King. I'll start texting you, I guess.
Yeah.
No, because here's why. Like, in all seriousness, whether you like the artist or not, like what Fortnite did with Marshmallow, what they did with Travis Scott, what Destiny's trying to do here, like they deliver these social events on a scale that people just you don't ever have a chance to experience, and these are kind of magical things, right?
Yes.
So it's the ability to bring big communities together and get them into some sort of shared experience. That's awesome, and it's one you have to handle really, really well. That's my part of my disappointment with Bungie is I love what they tried to do, and I wish they had done a better job because they could do so much more of this in the future. And now at the same time, I also think they make fantastic cutscenes.
Oh, yeah.
So like this was good, but I also wouldn't mind to see a cutscene.
You know what's funny, Bill? Like in the middle of all this going down, I was like, at this point, I'd rather had a cutscene because I'd be back in bed right now.
But if they could actually take this to the next, so now you've got these social events that people get together and you get big community drive. Now turn it around and then like Cog said, like let's have it turn into an actual raid. Have it turn into something where you've got everybody you know online, and it's like, hey, we're all there. And now maybe it's a 16-person raid, right, or something different or unique that moves you right into the next.
They could make public events way more interesting.
Shout out to Forte. He said the crash could have been how we got the heir apparent machine. Salute. That was messy. Salute. I like that. Like, look,
that's not nice.
That was not nice. But yeah, we'll move on. I mean, that was. I thought ultimately, you know, it was something that was a good first attempt from a tech perspective. Or from a tech,
I agree.
I gotta give them credit. Now we just gotta, you know, speed it up and do it right. King, do you want to get your bars off with this last topic, and then we're out of here?
Yeah, just real quick.
Yeah, real quick. Get your bars off. So what's going on? We got the let me set you up the SoC going on with PlayStation 5 and ramping up production, all that good stuff. Looks like Digi Times has indicated that the AMD processors will be going into production soon and increasing stock throughout June, July, and August. So I know you wanted to get some bars off in reference to the PlayStation 5 SoC. What do you feel, sir?
Well, you know, I feel that it's a very telling thing that they're ramping up the SoC at this late time in the game, and maybe it has a lot to do with what's going on in the world at the moment. And you know, maybe it doesn't, because at the same time you have another company that they were ramping up the SoC way earlier. And if you're in the same business of your competitor, and your competitor is confident in launching in that year, and if you claim that you're confident in launching in that year, your competitor is doing a global launch, you would want to, especially because of what's going on, you would want to ramp that stuff up earlier. I try to explain to people this is telling signs in business where maybe things are not hitting budget lines, right? Because we've noticed that everything looks like cost-effective and cost-cutting measures when it comes to that platform, like the smaller SSD size stuff that just give you cues, like, I mean, common sense type of cues, like that didn't make any sense, or why didn't you match with this, or why didn't you match with that? And I feel like it goes into common sense. If you're going to pay a bill, because you get a bill when you're going to purchase something, like when we go to purchase t-shirts, right? I go, yo, the t-shirts is going to be ready on this day. I go in there paying Phil, right? Now he also gives you the option. Well, what we can do is you can pay now, and then like 3 to 4 weeks before, you can pay half now and then half when your order is about to be complete. Right. And you get different options. But when you're financially confident, you just pay up front, like, yeah, let's have that. And then if anything goes down in prices of t-shirts or whatever, you know, we could just work out the details. Fine. But when you're working on a budget and financially it's not meeting, you're trying to make sure that you hit certain check marks and balances, because financially you're not able to do certain things. You wait to the last minute for things, hoping for a reduction, or maybe they won't hit this year. Now, I think being this late in the SoC ramping up, do you think they just hold off, get as much units as they can, and do a worldwide launch in February, where they don't have to worry about competing with a stronger unit that's inside the same market pace that could be cheaper than them?
All right, well, let's get Lord Bill in this, because clearly we feel strongly about, you know, the SoC and when it's being ramped up in production, the timing of this. Well, I mean, obviously you're not at PlayStation, but Bill, what do you feel in general as far as like the whole news of the SoC kind of being ramping up for now? Like, what's your mindset on that?
This is one I'll defer most of my feedback on, just because just simply because I was involved in the SoC side of the Xbox planning and know what timeframes look like. I will say though that it's a weird set of leaks of news of different type of just different types of information coming out. You just have a situation where I don't know what Sony's plans are. I don't know what they plan to go through, but at the same time, you also are dealing with, we got a global pandemic. We have a lot of people who are unemployed. There's other things going on in the world right now as well that are distracting other people and their focus. And so, like, I'm not sure what this holiday season even looks like, you know, and is it necessary to have huge stockpiles? Will the economy recover? Will people be interested in dropping money on a next-gen console at scale? So I really don't know what their plans are, what they're focusing on, but I have a feeling everybody is looking at that dynamic and trying to figure out what's the right path forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Attic, I don't know, it looks like he's muted. He stepped away for a second. Look, you know, I don't
I'm
know.
back.
Oh, you're back. Okay, sorry. Continue. What do you think about the chipset production ramp them up now? Do you think it's on time? Do you think this is an indicator of it being late or not coming this year? Like, where's your mindset on it?
I know absolutely zero about making stuff like that on a mass scale. For all I know, they could do this in a week, a day, a month, a year. Like, I have no clue. I have no clue what the time frame is to this, something like that. So I can't really make a huge comment on it.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Look, I mean, I know Sav had to jump out, but yeah, I don't know either. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you know, obviously because of the climate of what we're going on in the world right now, you know, thing that has kind of thrown a wrinkle into everything. You know, I'm assuming Microsoft, I know Bill can't speak to this specifically because this is directly what he was doing, so we're not going to get him in trouble, but, you know, I'm assuming Microsoft had their set schedule as to when this was going to happen, and most assume it was happening, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know whose time frame says that it's right, that it's on schedule, or who's, you know, are they waiting, you know, for
I mean, they both
reduction?
came out multiple times this year saying it's on schedule.
That's all I know. All I know is the earnings report.
But you know, I think me and King will agree. We have to go on what we see now, what we don't know and do know.
Right. That's literally all I have on it. But
yeah, let's climb up out of here.
Let's climb up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But look, we got to do a poll. But please stick around, yo, because after the poll, we just want to show again for the lords that missed the big thing that we're doing. We're going to show it one more time. You know, please stick around.
You just play that instead of the outro.
Yes, we'll do that. Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah. We'll do that. And look, new IPL poll that's going up with the latest rumors and uncertainty. We didn't get a chance to talk about too much in reference to Lockhart, but what would you prefer this device to become? The choices are A, a dedicated 4 teraflop console with lower entry point. B, hybrid console, handheld console like the Nintendo Switch. Or C, I don't care because we know Lockhart doesn't exist. Shout out to all the lords. We're not going to get Bill in trouble on any of this. He cannot comment. But salute to all the lords in the realm. Lord Bill Stillwell of the Mixed Reality Team. A pleasure once again blessing us with this tremendous knowledge. We learned a lot about game design. We learned a lot about scalability. We learned a lot about I/O. So much going on, man. Again, it is always an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm. Truly blessed to have your knowledge and when you speak to us. So where can people find you? What you have going on, sir?
Well, you can find me on Twitter mostly. It's at WC Stillwell. Just be warned, I'm mostly going to tweet about hockey and other nonsense. Less about games, but and beyond that, you know, I'll try and stay in. You guys are are some of my favorite people on the planet. So I will continue to come to this as often as I can. And really appreciate you having me on, and really appreciate the conversation.
Absolutely, man. Love what you're doing with the community. Love how you celebrate those content creators. And just, I always, one thing I always give you credit, like, you know, you always big up a lot of the positive in the community. Really respect that. Now, outside of your outrageous, you know, 10 for 10 multiplayer Overwatch thing, you know, I'm gonna let that slash. You're
you're gonna have to stop with that
everything you do, Bill, is fantastic, except for giving 10 to Overwatch as a perfect game that doesn't have a single player narrative.
Bill, you just have to ignore him. Just ignore him. Like, whatever he just said doesn't exist.
Show him why I'm wrong, Bill. Put your shirt up.
Shirt up, right there.
Oh, ride hard. That's what's up, man. Salute, bro, brother Bill, man.
Man, all I know is when Genji showed up in that Overwatch 2 trailer, that's all it took.
I was fronting. As soon as I saw a ninja and a cinema, I was in.
That was it. Yeah, he was
Overwatch 2, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Showed up and deflected those beams. Yes. He was like, now I'm in.
He's in.
No doubt, Lord Addict, man. Where can the find people find you? What you got going on, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. But you know, we do got an announcement. I do have a capture device coming. You know, thanks the Realm. You know, all the support you guys give. You know, it's like I said, we always reinvest in the podcast. We're gonna start doing more community things where it's like, you know, some of the Lords playing games together to give entertainment. The first one's gonna be me and Lord King playing A Ways Out.
Oh, we're playing A Way Out.
I'll probably get out of jail.
You were trying to escape prison with Addict. God bless you, oh Lord.
We're gonna do it.
And, you know, then we'll, you know, branch out, maybe do some GTA sessions that we can play with the Realm.
Nice.
So you know, it's just another way of us giving back to what all the generosity you guys give every week.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And of course, LordSov, please send your prayers to LordSov. He has to deal with an emergency situation right now. Please send your love to the family.
Everybody said their love and hearts out.
My brother he had to run. There's something going on with him. We send our love. We will definitely check on him later. And of course, Lord King dropping the knowledge and slander.
Y'all, you listen. Y'all lucky Bill is here today, because I'm gonna tell you right now. After this, man, y'all are so lucky Bill is here. I never ever will put my brother on the spot and put him on a joint while I'm going buck bananas on that podcast. So I'm definitely, y'all are so lucky, man.
This is a reserved King on certain time. I know.
There's a lot of stuff that I was, man. Y'all so lucky. Yeah, man. Shout out to Bill. I swear that he is one of the true blue guys. That's really out here. See, a lot of y'all guys be with these jerseys, right? Bill, they're
Bill, we're hearing it.
Bill had the original jerseys.
Bill,
and now because Bill has that jersey, now it looks like we don't have to make more of those jerseys.
Bill is the reason for the jersey.
Facts.
Right, and without Bill, there is no jersey. So let's keep that 100. Because I was giving out T-shirts with their name on it, and I gave it out to Green, I gave it out to Phil, but at the same time, Bill has been there from day one. Bill has is weight. Bill is family. Yeah, okay, so I told Cog, I said he loves hockey.
Yeah, we want to do something special.
Hockey jerseys, and I went to my T-shirt guy and I said I need it to be really special. I don't want any crap. What can we do? And then we went through a whole bunch of options. One jersey was like $500. I said we can't do that. that's
the Hall of Fame.
That's not in our budget, but let's
we got that Rolex money.
Let's get real. Let's work it. Like, so I had a Sony pocket. My pockets was
but stop being messy. Continue.
I ain't had Siri X pocket.
He can't do anything without bringing Sony in the negative voice.
No, you know what? Listen, I got to pander to my audience.
Continue.
Stop it. My audience is here for that. But no. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Bro, it's on the wall, bro.
I took pictures. I said, Cog. I said, this is it. This is it. It's amazing. I said, I'm gonna be wearing it all the time. When he got it, it just, and I saw the pictures and I was like, oh man, it's great. So yes. So Bill, I am humbled by everything. Trust me, you have no idea. This was truly unexpected and greatly amazing at every point in time. Every time. every time I see you, every time you're on. So yes, I'm completely reserved today, and I respect your airtime.
Absolutely.
All right. So for you guys that actually look at KOS, the new KOS is up with Scar, Son of Hulk. Please go check it out. That statue is huge. You see how big my head is, right? Okay, then. It's a big statue. Yeah,
that's the PlayStation Hulk eater.
Yeah, it's crazy. Go check it out. If you don't know who Scar is, he's the son of Hulk, and I go into his backstory and I give you a detailed.
Oh, that's not the Hulk?
No, that's Son of Hulk.
That's the son of Hulk.
Yeah.
So go check out the backstory. Then
great
thank Daddy for actually watching my video.
Fraud alert!
Look, man.
Fraud alert!
I want everybody to put the
I thought it was the Hulk.
So I don't know. Okay, Attic, you didn't watch KOS this week.
Attic just exposed himself.
Yes.
But is it 4K? If you have 4K capabilities, please watch it in 4K so you can see this wonderful jersey and what is going on and what has the uproar for everybody. But for those people that actually watch KOS and you have joined the realm, what I'll be doing is I'm going to be, because I do a lot of blooper videos, and I messed up this video probably like 4 or 5 times. And it was another statue that I was doing. It just didn't go right. It was like 4 or 5 videos that I did. So what I'm going to start doing is just uploading those videos so you can laugh to death and see a lot of. There's a lot of stuff that go on, and you can be like, "What?" Like somebody will call me.
I have a lot of those too.
Mute my phone while I'm doing the video, and I'm like,
and don't you hate when you're almost done and something happens and you have to do the whole thing again?
Yes.
It's like you're literally the last 10-15 seconds, and like someone calls you, and you just like, oh.
I don't do it in like, because I see a lot of dudes chop up their videos. I do it in one take.
Yeah.
So if I do it in one take and I forget something, I got to scrap that video and start again. So a lot of times, listen, that's for you guys because you're showing us crazy support. I just want you to laugh. I want you in this period of time, what's going on right now. I just need a little bit more love in the world. And if that's, I can give you some of the stuff that's driving me crazy and it can make you laugh. I'll give it to you.
Absolutely, man. Salute to Victor Alistine who put up the $2 super chat. I miss you, brother. Great podcast guy. Again, we can't say enough. Salute to Lord Bill, man, for coming through, dropping the knowledge on this, man. And again, the realm, man, we can't say more than enough. So what we're gonna do, everybody has still here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna drop you with again that tremendous promotion that we're planning to do and get you out of here. Everybody, enjoy your Sunday. Listen to this. Salute to my brother, Cat Daddy. Salute to Graphic God. We're going to get it right with production, I know. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. I'll talk to you. Peace.
Hi, I'm Lord King David of Iron Lords Podcast. And we're bringing to you an exciting new giveaway. This giveaway is like none other. We'll be giving away an Xbox Series X. That's right, you heard me right. The brand new console launching from Microsoft this year. Well, this is how you're able to be part of that giveaway. There's 2 ways to get your name thrown in the hat for the raffle. 1, become a member of the realm. That's hit that join button, hit that join button. You hit that join button down at the bottom and you can become a member. And also, another way is by becoming a Patreon member. So you can be part of the realm as well. Now, this is brought to you by CatDaddyFatStacks, a member and Lord of the realm. A very generous person that's in our community. And this community is beautiful. So remember, you can have 1 entry by hitting that join button and becoming a member of the realm. And also, you can have another entry by being a Patreon. Now, you said, King, what if I'm a member of both? Well, your name gets thrown in the hat 2 times. So please, like, follow, and subscribe. Join or become a Patreon member or become both. And your name is in the hat to get that Xbox Series X. That's the Who Did That For You sweepstakes. This is wonderful. This is something that I'm sure that you will enjoy. Oh man.